There's one man who refuses to follow the script.
We have rules here, you know that. And if you don't follow the rules, then what are we?
One man stands tall in the face of adversity.
But it ain't about how hard you hit. It's about how hard you can get hit and keep moving forward.
A man who rises above the ashes of hot takes.
What do you care what they say?
Easy for you to say they will love you.
It's just noise, man. You're really good at it. You might be great.
That man is Nick Kostos. And this is You Better You Bet.
If loving sports is wrong, I don't want to be right.
Where narratives are challenged and the truth is spoken.
I told you what was going to happen last week. If you didn't listen, that's on you.
This isn't talk, it's perspective.
It's not what you look at that matters. It's what you see.
This is You Better You Bet, presented by BetMGM on Westwood One Sports.
What's up, everybody? Happy and merry, tremendous football Thursday to you and yours. This is You Better You Bet with Nick Kostos on Westwood One Sports, as we bring you the fastest show in all of sports. We're live at Radio Row, Day 4, San Francisco, California. If I can be honest with everybody, it's freezing in this room right now. My guy John Romero's here in a T-shirt. I mean, we're going to have to take him to the hospital after this. My guy's going to have frostbite or something here. It is crazy cold. Bill Zimmerman's here in a full suit. He looks great. He's freezing. I had to put my jacket on because I'm freezing. It has to be 64 degrees in this room right now. And this is how I know I'm getting older, because normally 64, perfect temperature for me. Now I like it like 74. I guess I'm an old man. Talking sports here with you. You Better You Bet on this Thursday, presented by BetMGM. Make it legendary. Download the BetMGM app and visit BetMGM.com. And on this Thursday morning in the world of sports is alive. And we're going to get to all the big stories, and we're going to be joined by some absolutely incredible guests, as per usual. How about 20 minutes from now? Indianapolis Colts star receiver Michael Pittman will join us on You Better You Bet, and I'm going to ask Michael Pittman if he wants Daniel Jones back as his starting quarterback this season. We'll be joined by Carolina Panthers wide receiver, I believe, by the time we come on the air tomorrow on Friday, he will be the newly minted Offensive Rookie of the Year. Tet McMillan stops by 20 minutes from now. Good Morning Football's Manti Te'o. WWE Champion CM Punk, who's main eventing WrestleMania against Roman Reigns. CM Punk will stop by. A very entertaining conversation on the way with Niners wide receiver Kendrick Bourne. And amongst the topics with Kendrick Bourne, him eliminating Tyler, Femi, and myself from Survivor this past year early in the season in that Niners-Rams Thursday night game. You are going to love Kendrick Bourne's response to that, and also his take on the electrical substation by the Niners practice facility, and if he thinks that is the reason for the Niners' injuries year after year. Action Network NBA writer Matt Moore will stop by. Pro sports bettor Rob Pizzola, best bets for Super Bowl 60. Ariel Epstein and Kelly Stewart, best bets for Super Bowl 60. Pro Football Hall of Fame running back Emmitt Smith. And my good friend, host of Westwood One Sports, the great Scott Graham. Before we get to the amazing guests starting next segment here in hour number 1 on this Thursday, we got some big stories to touch on in sports. NBA trade deadline, 3 o'clock Eastern today. And it feels like Giannis Antetokounmpo is not going to get traded. Now, that can change in between now and 3 o'clock Eastern today on Thursday. But by all the accounts from all the NBA insiders, feels way more likely that Giannis will get dealt this summer than he will by 3 o'clock Eastern today. Which would be like, if we're being candid, like you go to a steakhouse and you're really excited to get a bone-in ribeye and they tell you, well, we have no meat, so enjoy this piece of salmon. Wow, what a great NBA trade deadline coming up without Giannis. Really exciting. So we'll see when Giannis gets moved. Looks more likely to be the summer. I do think Ja Morant will get dealt today by the Memphis Grizzlies. Writings on the wall for Ja in Memphis after the trade of Jaren Jackson Jr. to the Utah Jazz. Maybe Ja gets sent to Sacramento. We shall see. But barring a true stunner of a trade, it feels like most of the big stuff has probably already happened. And we did get a couple huge trades yesterday after we went off the air at noon Eastern on Wednesday here on You Better You Bet. And the big takeaway from yesterday in the NBA, the Luka Doncic trade, which is 368 days ago from right now, is the single worst trade in the history of sports. Period. Like, it's over at this point now. And it was pretty easy to tell, even in the moment when it happened, that this was going to be one of the worst trades of all time. Because Luka Doncic got traded. So you knew it was terrible in the moment. But, you never know how things are going to go. Maybe Anthony Davis is awesome. Maybe he can stay healthy. Maybe Kyrie Irving stays healthy. Maybe the two of them together can help Dallas, with all their big men, right? And defense wins championships. You can maybe argue that it could have worked out for Dallas, even while acknowledging it was an asinine, ridiculous, ludicrous idea to trade Luka Doncic. But now, in the aftermath of all of it, surveying the wreckage, there can be no other reasonable opinion but to say it's the worst trade of all time. Because Luka is going to continue to be a star for the Lakers, and Anthony Davis is now a Washington Wizard. He's a Wizard. If I'm Anthony Davis, I would rather be a Wizard in Gryffindor, or Slytherin, or Ravenclaw, or those sons of bitches at Hufflepuff than the Washington Wizards. I mean, Anthony Davis and some players and mostly picks from Washington to Dallas, it's the worst trade of all time. Period. Nico Harrison, I think he should have to stand trial for war crimes for this trade. And obviously, he's already been fired by Dallas. It's absolutely terrible. It's absolutely brutal. I mean, the fact that Davis is no longer on the Mavericks a year after this trade, if you're a billionaire and you saw him manage to go broke in a year, and now he's living on the streets of San Francisco next to the meth heads that we almost hit with our car on the way over here this morning. I don't understand how all of this is possible. Quick thought on the Wizards' perspective. We're talking Washington Wizards in the open of the show Thursday morning of Super Bowl week. What a world. Just here's 10 seconds on the Wizards. I like it for the Wizards. Kept their first-round pick in this year's draft. Anthony Davis, Trae Young with their young core. They might be ready to cook next year in the Eastern Conference. Now, cook doesn't have to mean contend for an Eastern Conference title. But, can they be a playoff team next year? Absolutely. They can be. So good on them. And also, somehow, some way, you mentioned the billionaire who went broke and now he's living with the meth heads on the street. He stumbled into a bodega here on the streets of San Francisco, bought himself a scratch-off, and won $50 million. Because the Mavericks, with the 1.8% chance to win the lottery last year, win the draft lottery and get Cooper Flagg. So they lucked into Cooper Flagg. So you can actually say, I don't know if it's good that Anthony Davis gets traded, but they have financial flexibility now underneath the luxury tax, which fans don't really care about, but just saying that's a big deal for Dallas and the Mavericks. And they have a young transcendent star who is absolutely on the way up in Cooper Flagg. So somehow, Dallas still has a bright future ahead of it, even in the wake of this absolute disaster of a trade. Nico Harrison, where is he right now? Should be Guantanamo Bay. Luka in L.A., Anthony Davis in our nation's capital. Just absolutely, absolutely brutal. Speaking of brutal, if you're a Golden State Warrior fan, a Golden State Warriors future's better. What are you even thinking right now? Now, the season, for all intents and purposes, ended with the Jimmy Butler injury. When Jimmy Butler's out for the season, Golden State's absolutely got no hope. Look, Mike Dunleavy and company were maybe we'll try and get in the mix for Giannis. What does Golden State have to give? Draymond Green does the press conference. If this is it for me, it's been a great run. They're not getting Giannis. I guess they could surprise and get Giannis, but they made their move last night. The move, Jonathan Kuminga and Buddy Hield to Atlanta for Kristaps Porzingis. And I love, and I'm not criticizing outlets that do this, but when you get here, look at this, everybody, look at the Golden State Warriors starting lineup now after this deal. Wow, it's awesome. Like Steph Curry, Pajemski, Moses Moody, Draymond Green, and Kristaps Porzingis, who's probably not going to play. Wow. Yeah, I'm sure the Oklahoma City Thunder are up late at night, sleepless, thinking about Kristaps Porzingis in the post. Al Horford, combined age 88. I'm sure the San Antonio Spurs are quaking in their boots. The Denver Nuggets like, oh my God, well now. Oh, the Warriors got Porzingis, now we're screwed. And thank God like that the Kuminga saga is over. Enough. I'll tell you what, man, or woman. That team's lucky Steph Curry's got like the patience of a saint. He should really ask out. They're done. They're done. He's not going to win again there. He's one of the greatest players ever. He should really ask out. I don't think he will, and it's lucky for Golden State that he won't. So if anything else happens in between now and the end of the show as it concerns NBA trades, we will obviously bring it to you here on You Better You Bet. We did get a pretty important piece of news yesterday as it concerns Super Bowl 60. Which, by the way, the big game coming up on Sunday with the Seahawks and the Patriots. Tons of great guests today. Best bets. My best bets coming up on the show tomorrow. And then again on the Sunday shows that I do. WFAN in New York. And then the 2-hour national Westwood One show. So at our show sponsor, BetMGM, Seattle, a 4.5-point favorite. Total is 45.5. So it looks like we basically settled in this range. Seattle will be favored by more than 4 and less than 6. Total seems to have settled in between 44 and 47, smack dab in the middle at 45.5. So Drake May practices yesterday for the Patriots. No big surprise. Like dealing with the shoulder injury, I don't think anyone expected Drake May would not play in the game. The big injury news from yesterday, on the initial injury report for both teams, actually came from Seattle. And it's not the quarterback of the offense, in Sam Darnold, who says his oblique is doing really well, and Darnold's obviously going to be good to go. Started against the Niners with the oblique, started against the Rams with the oblique, and they won both games and are favored in the Super Bowl. But one of the quarterbacks of their defense had to leave practice yesterday with an ankle injury. That is star rookie safety, great first name, Nick Emmanwori. Now, we don't yet know the severity of the injury for Nick Emmanwori. Apparently, imaging is going to be underdone. Underwent? Underdone is not a word. He will undergo imaging. I think it's early here. He will undergo imaging. There are fan videos, I believe, on social media of Emmanwori getting out of like a team car and limping into the hotel with this ankle injury. Now, my best guess is he's going to be good to go. They'll probably give him, some players before a game, some have orange slices, maybe a sandwich, whatever it is. Nick Emmanwori's pregame meal on Sunday will be a Toradol sandwich. Like the painkiller hero. I think he's going to end up playing in this game, but this is hashtag worth monitoring. He's not Sam Darnold or JSN in terms of importance to the team, but he's kind of like the Kyle Hamilton of this defense, right? Someone who is capable of playing safety, coming up to the line of scrimmage, being a big nickel, rushing the passer. He's an absolute stud, one of the fulcrums of Mike McDonald's defense. And even if he plays, if he's not 100% healthy, I actually think it matters, given his importance level to the defense for the Seattle Seahawks. So we don't have all the information yet. Maybe he practices in full today, but I believe this is worth getting on everyone's radar. A couple days away from Super Bowl 60. Nick Emmanwori, a very important piece of Seattle's defense, leaving practice on Wednesday with an ankle injury. We're just getting started here. Tremendous Football Thursday, live from San Francisco, California, Radio Row. The parade of guests will start on the other side. A pair of stud receivers will join us. Tetairoa McMillan of the Carolina Panthers and Michael Pittman of the Indianapolis Colts. Here on You Better You Bet with Nick Kostos, Westwood One Sports, presented by BetMGM.
Let's get back to San Francisco for more You Better You Bet with Nick Kostos. Live from Media Row, only on Westwood One Sports. Presented by
You Bet rolls on live
BetMGM.
from Radio Row in San Francisco, California. Nick Kostos here with you. My guest at this time, Indianapolis Colts wide receiver Michael Pittman. Michael, what's going on? Great to have you here.
Thank you. So I'm actually here on behalf of Toyota. They sorry about that.
You're good.
Yeah, they are putting on the Glow Up. They're the Glow Up Classic, which is a flag football game for female youth athletes here, and they're like doing like some really great things. And I'm actually coaching in that.
That's awesome.
Later on tonight, so looking forward to that.
I'll ask you about it again, what you've got going on with Toyota at the end of the interview. You guys were having such an unbelievable start to the season, and I hate that like it's kind of tinged with negativity with how it ended. I have to start with this, and maybe it's just Daniel's injuries, right? Mm-hmm. What the hell happened? You guys were absolutely rolling, and it all fell apart.
Yeah, no, I mean, a football team like isn't made up of one guy, but it definitely does hurt like when you lose your starting quarterback. And him being able to power through a broken leg.
He played on a broken leg.
Yeah. And like he played well, and just him being able to power through that like just shows like how dedicated he is like to this team, and like just like it's tough like just like to see a guy that works so hard just go down after he does tear his Achilles. So just knowing that he's on his way back, and I think the Colts are going to do everything they can to re-sign him, and said I think I think it's going to work out for everybody.
Do you want Daniel Jones back as your quarterback next year?
Absolutely, 100%.
Okay. This will lead into a follow-up question, and I always say this with guys that come on the show because I want to put you in a position where, like to do well, to say the right things, right? I'm going to ask you about Anthony.
Yeah.
So, 4th overall pick a couple of years ago, and the sense was maybe it'll take a little bit because he was so raw, doesn't have a ton of starts in college or high school for that matter, but we think he's going to get there, and for whatever the reason, it hasn't worked out. Like, what do you kind of see for Anthony Richardson moving forward, and do you think his future is in Indianapolis if you think Daniel's going to be back as the starter?
Yeah, I mean, every player like has a different path. I mean, you've seen it with plenty of other quarterbacks. You see it with Sam Darnold. You've seen it with Daniel, where maybe somewhere else.
I'm a Giants fan. You don't have to tell me. Yeah.
Right. So like just like maybe certain situations don't work out for certain players, but he could stay with the Colts, and something may happen like in the future where he comes back and he could become the starter and go on to play for however long like as he can. But one thing that I know about Ant is he's super talented. He's got every single tool. He's willing to work hard, and he is a really good teammate. So
what do you think it is that then, and I'm not disputing anything you're saying, but why hasn't been able to put together for him like a lot of people thought?
Yeah, there's a ton of things that go into being a NFL quarterback, and like I feel like I don't really have the qualifications to really pinpoint something because I've never played that position. Like quarterback is the hardest position like in all of sports, and that's why you see teams that don't necessarily have that guy. It's really hard to be a top team and not have that guy. So I can't really pinpoint it, but I know that he's shown flashes of what he can do, and like I think that Ant has everything still in front of him, and he can go on to play for as long as he wants to play.
Coming into this year, I think what people would have said about one of the teammates in your receiving core, Alec Pierce, is that he's just someone that runs really fast in a straight line and is a deep threat. And he showed this year, and look, like I host a national, I'll be honest, like I love like the minutia of the league. I pay attention to like I love it, right? And what he was able to do this year, and you can obviously speak to this 500 million times better than me, but just an expanded route tree, right, where it's not just running really fast in a straight line. I think he's got, I'm sure you're smiling right now, I think you agree, be one of the best receivers in the league. Like, you guys have got a lot of really good weapons. He's entering free agency. What do you think is going to happen with Alec Pierce this offseason?
So I actually remember, I think it was like 2 years ago or maybe even like early last year.
Are you going to talk about the throw from Anthony down the field to him?
Oh, no. But that was a great throw.
Yeah.
But people were calling to trade Alec. And, like, the fans and, like, the media were all, like, just, like, down on him. And I just didn't know why, because everything that Alec had done up until that point, he had made his opportunities, right? Because, like, football is all about opportunities, right? And Alec got a bigger role. He got a bigger taste of that. and he was able to capitalize on it. And like now, like everybody's seeing like what he can actually do. And what's going to happen with Alec? I mean, I have no idea. I mean, his market is huge.
He's going to get a huge deal from somebody.
Yeah. So we're going to see. I was actually with him last night, and we went to dinner and hung out a bunch. So he's just kind of slow playing it. Like, I don't even think he knows what he's doing right now, but I know that he wants to be a Colt, and hopefully it works out that way.
Michael Pittman here with us on You Better You Bet. We'll talk about Toyota coming up in a moment. So from the outside, so Jim Irsay sadly passes away right before the season. NFL legend, obviously, owner of the Indianapolis Colts. His daughter, Callie, takes over, right? And we see her on the sidelines, and she's doing these press conferences. And I said, and like it is all available publicly, I think she's really cool.
Oh, yeah.
And I love, like, you're smiling right now because you think the same thing, right? And I kind of, like, love everything about it. It feels like it's different from a lot of what's going on. Tell us about Callie Gordon Irsay, what it's like playing for her, and does it, I guess it kind of comes across to you guys the same way it's coming across to us.
Yeah, I mean, Carly is probably the most involved owner in all of sports. I mean, she's there every single day. She's been sitting in meetings ever since I've been there. And
you like that or don't like it?
I mean, I think it's good because it keeps everybody accountable, like from the top down. So coaches, players, staff, and
I'll bet you the coaches hate it. You don't have to say that. I'm just guessing.
But it's like I haven't seen that type of involvement from an owner. Now, like, granted, I've only been on one team, but like I hear guys who've never met their owner, right? And like I have a conversation with her daily. Like, we're talking about like plays. Like, she's coming up to me and asking me about plays like in the game and practice and why things went this way that like usually like you don't see. And just like her willingness to listen to anybody, right? Whether you're the starting quarterback or you are somebody that works in the kitchen staff, like she values everybody in the same way.
Do you feel like, I feel like this is true, do you feel like you personally don't get enough credit for playing through injuries the way that you do?
I mean, like, I don't really like look at it like that. Like, I just kind of, the way that I go is
like, how messed up was your back last year?
Well, I mean, yeah, I mean, like, just
and
like
you're playing in these games. Like, it's, you know, like I know you're a football player, but like it's kind of crazy, right?
Like, I just think that my teammates deserve my best, whether I'm 100% or whether I'm not, right? And like, you get to a certain point, like in the season where like nobody's healthy, right? So just being able to push through and just know that they're fighting with me just keeps me going. And also, we have a really great training staff. We got Aaron, Kyle Davis, Brian, Matt, Dre, and they just do everything that they can to like get us going. So we have a really great staff that helps us from day to day.
Who's going to win the Super Bowl, Patriots or Seahawks?
You know I can't say that.
Why not?
Because that's like the unwritten no-no. But
who do you think's going to win? It's fine.
I will say, after we had not after our season ended, I really thought that the Rams really had like a really good shot. But I guess we're all going to find out on Sunday, like, who wins this one.
Who do you think's going to win the game? This is not like that. This is not something terrible you're going to say.
I hope that Sam Darnold and Bayless Jones and Brandon Peely and Chenna win because they're all SC guys.
Love it. So that was a politically correct answer. Last time, tell us what you're doing with our friends at Toyota.
Yeah, well, we touched on it briefly, but they're putting on this flag football game. It's called the Glow Up Classic, and it's for youth, or it's for the All-Star Youth Girls. And also, Toyota has contributed $3 million for youth athletics and has reached over 300,000 kids. They are also putting in permanent lights down up or down. Sorry, I don't know where I'm at right now. Up or down in Santa Clara. They are putting in permanent lights so kids can play and glow up for as long as that field stands.
Is Jordan Love doing stuff with you guys? Are you aware of the Toyota-thon thing with Jordan Love? That when it's Toyota-thon,
Yeah.
Jordan Love starts throwing a million touchdowns?
Yeah, like he's just a beast. So it's funny because me and him are actually from the same town. So we're from Bakersfield. But yeah, so like he has this thing going on, and whenever Toyota-thon is, we don't want to play him. Like just like during that time.
So funny, man.
Yeah.
Michael, appreciate it, man. You're a stud. Good luck coming up this season with Indianapolis.
Thank you.
Michael Pittman also had a chance to have Carolina Panthers wide receiver Tet McMillan stop by after the show yesterday. Take a listen to that interview. It's not very often, and look, I don't know for a fact that this is going to happen, but I think so. It's great to be joined by the guy that I believe very shortly will be named Offensive Rookie of the Year in the National Football League. Tet McMillan, T-Mac, joining us here on You Better You Bet, wide receiver for the Carolina Panthers. Welcome to the show. How's it going?
I'm good. How about you?
I'm great, man.
I like that.
I'd like to start with this. I don't know how it happened, and I'm guilty of this too. Everybody throughout the draft process just started calling you Tet. I called you Tet the entire summer, throughout the entire draft process on the show, and then it came out that you don't want to be called Tet, which is, it's your name. You can be called whatever you want. You like T-Mac. How the hell did Tet happen?
Hey, I have no idea. I don't know who came up with it, how it started. Yeah, that's no good, though. That's no good.
So you want to set the record straight. You can look into the camera and tell the people what you would like to be called.
Hey, man, y'all can either call me T-Mac or y'all can give my name a real shot, Tet.
Say it one more time, please.
Tet.
Everyone's messing it up. Tataroa. Did I get it right?
That's good enough.
It's okay, right?
Yeah.
All right. I think you'll be Offensive Rookie of the Year. You had an awesome season for the Panthers, and you guys almost beat the Rams in the wild card round in a pretty amazing game. Tell us about that game and what that meant for you guys moving forward in Carolina.
I mean, yeah, that was obviously a big game for us. First playoff game in 8 years or 7 years for the organization. The first home playoff game in 10 years. So big game for us. You know, a bunch of the legends came out to support us, so that was obviously good. And but you know, it just gave us a sense of direction as far as where this team can go in the upcoming years. You know, now that we made the playoffs, we won the division, you know, that's kind of the standard now. And that was our message. It's just like, you know, we got to continue to do what we're doing.
There's a lot of people, despite you guys winning the division this year, almost beating the Rams in the playoffs, that still don't believe that Bryce is the guy to lead you guys moving forward. And I don't think anyone thinks Bryce is terrible, just that maybe he's not like a Super Bowl winning quarterback. You play, and I'll be honest, I'm not so sure about that, but you play with, I'm just being real with you, right? You played with him. You guys won a division. You almost won a playoff game against a team that a lot of people thought was one of the best in the league. What are your thoughts on Bryce Young moving forward and his potential in the NFL?
Yeah, I mean, I think Bryce is a good player and an even better person. You know, I feel like when he first came in the league, you know, he was kind of just thrown to the fire. You know, was set up and was put in a bad situation. And in his third year, you know, he was able to make the playoffs, take this team to the playoff game. So, I mean, he's everything you can want in the team's quarterback and your franchise quarterback. So, you know, a super humble dude that's puts the team first before himself. You know, he's one of those guys that people want to play for, and then at the same time, he's one of those guys that will play for others. So, I mean, I'm a big fan of Bryce for sure.
I want to give you my opinion on one of your teammates, and he was awesome in the wild card game. Jalen Coker. I think he's an absolute stud. And if he's able to stay healthy through the offseason, this offseason and next season, I think that the two of you on the outside, him in the slot, I think you guys are going to be absolutely dynamite. Do you feel that way about Jalen? Because I think that just like with fantasy football players, and you may think fantasy still, a lot of people love it, I think he's going to be a really popular guy this summer. I mean that sincerely. I'm not joking.
I hear exactly.
Do you know what they call themselves? Can I say this on the show? It's true. Everyone tweets it. They call themselves the Cokeheads.
Oh, the Cokeheads.
The Jalen
yeah.
Coker fans. Yeah.
Yeah, no, I'm a big fan of him. As soon as I stepped on the team with the Panthers, you know, I really enjoyed his company and his presence. And, you know, what he brings to this offense and this team. You know, he's a real good player. Obviously, we got a steal. You know, he went undrafted. Was able to pick him up, and I mean, you see that the trust that Bryce has in him. You know, the trust that our coordinators have in him. You know, they believe in him and his talents and what he can bring to this offense. And, you know, I feel like we complement each other really well. And, we'll see where it goes.
What do you guys need this offseason to take the Panthers to the next level in 2026 and beyond?
Any piece that we can add to this team to create depth and make sure we go as far as we can, we'll take it. But I feel like we have enough in our building right now. We have a lot that we can deal with and that we can do with it.
You know what I think is really stupid? I'm guessing, I don't even know if you're aware of this. Leading up to the draft, there was this opinion, or people would say about you, that maybe he's not going to, I'm not saying it's true, but people were saying this, right, leading up to the draft. There's so much out there, right, leading up to the draft. It's too much time that maybe he's not going to put the effort in, or the work's not going to be there. And then the games start. And it's really obvious how good you were and how stupid all of that was. And I'm saying it's stupid, so you can if you want to. Did you hear any of that stuff leading up to the draft? Because it obviously proved to not be true. I think you're going to win Offensive Rookie of the Year.
I appreciate you. Yeah, I mean, you hear those kind of things. It was all over social media and people were telling me. But, at the end of the day, my job is not to prove anybody wrong. It's to prove the people that believe in me right. The Panthers took a chance at me at 8 and, definitely took a chance because, everybody thought they were going to go a different route. They didn't expect them to pick a receiver, and they did, and I appreciate them for it. And, it was my job the whole season to pay them back, to make sure that, that they made the right decision. And
How much did the hand part of your tattoo? Because I have a full sleeve also. I didn't get my hand. I have been told that hurts the most. Did the hand hurt?
You can do it. The hand not as bad as
you use numbing cream or no?
Nah.
I did. Would you want to judge me for that?
No. I don't blame you at all.
Why didn't you?
He didn't have any numbing cream at the time.
Dude, come on. Your first round pick in the NFL. You can't go to a tattoo artist that's got numbing cream, man. What is that?
No. I had to show him that, I'm a soldier, man. I got to sit through it.
See, I am not a soldier. I very much do not want to be a soldier. Numb this bad boy up and let's get going. Tell us what you're doing with our friends at Spam. I actually kind of want this shirt.
You want it? I mean, I believe if you go comment and like on the Spam account, you can win exclusive Spam versus everybody.
And just for the people that are not watching the show and are listening, the shirt says Spam versus everybody, and it is an awesome shirt. And actually, I got handed this. So this is, what are we calling this?
This is Spam Musubi right here.
A Spam, what's it called? Spam what?
Musubi.
Spam Musubi. So this is it's like a sushi roll with Spam in it.
Oh.
It's delicious.
Check it out. Yeah.
I will eat this whole thing, whether it's right now.
You hungry? It's good. I mean, it's a great snack for, the big game on Sunday too. So.
People think that athletes grind. I've been here since 4 a.m, interview after interview. I actually think I'm a soldier. Am I a soldier? I think I am.
You a soldier. You're a soldier.
Tell us about Spam.
I was fortunate enough to be the first NFL athlete to partner with Spam, and something that I grew up on my whole life. I even eat it to this day. I probably eat it at the end of the day today. So, something that I grew up on, and very fortunate to be able to brand with. I'm partnered with a brand that I'm familiar with.
Are there we have more of these or no? Great.
Nah, you only get one. You only
I guess I'm not a general. I guess lower level soldier. T-Mac.
Yes, sir.
Appreciate you, man.
Appreciate
Thank you
you
very much. Have a great offseason. I hope you win Offensive Rookie of the Year. Kill it in 26.
I appreciate you. I hope you enjoy that right there.
Not Tet. T-Mac joining us here on You Better You Bet, heading into year 2 with the Carolina Panthers. What's this called?
Spam Musubi, man.
Why can't I say this? It's delicious. More You Better You Bet on the other side.
All right.
Let's head out to Media Row in San Francisco. This is You Better You Bet with Nick Kostos on Westwood One Sports, presented by BetMGM.
The biggest game of the year calls for a boost pack that's just as big. BetMGM rolling out the big game boost pack, giving you 3 different ways to boost the odds on your next big game bet. Here's how it works. First, log in and your big game boost pack will be waiting for you. Next, add any big game bet to your bet slip and activate the boost token you want to use. And finally, if that bet hits with the token activated, you're getting extra winnings on top of your payout. Make it legendary. Download the BetMGM app today, and please gamble responsibly. And now, a conversation with Manti Te'o from Good Morning Football. One of the hosts of Good Morning Football Overtime, absolute stud. And I said it to him, Manti Te'o with us here on the show. I said it to him when he sat down. I need uglier people next to me because it makes me look way worse when I have you sitting next to me. Happy Super Bowl week. How's it going?
Man, it's been fun. Thanks first and foremost for the introduction. It's been a blast. This is actually my first time at Radio Row. What a time it is for me to be a host on Good Morning Football, GMFB OT as well. It's just been a blast seeing a whole bunch of old faces, new faces. You know, it's just been an energy that I've been really, really enjoying.
Is this what you expect? This is my 12th Radio Row. Is this what you expected it to be? Did it fall short of expectations, exceed expectations? Take us through
You
it.
know, Nick, I didn't have any
You're
expectations.
such a pro already because you're saying the host's name. That is such a pro move. You're already such a professional.
I was trained by the best, Kyle Brandt, and Jamie Erdahl.
That's
Shout
good
out to
stuff,
them.
yeah.
But I didn't have any expectations coming into this situation. All I knew is hey, Good Morning Football, we're going to be here, and we're going to be here for 4 hours, and then you're going to go around and have interviews. And so I was very, very optimistic about it. I was very excited about it. And I got to say, I didn't expect the vibe to be this high. I've heard it's a madhouse. You know, there's so many people. I was like, it's been like a huge party.
Wait till Friday. It's insane on Friday. It is absolutely insane on Friday. So before we talk some football, and I want to get into your broadcasting career, I think something that's so fascinating, right? And I've talked about it this week on the show. You know, I'm on 9 to noon, and I live in New York, right? So
okay, Eastern.
Okay. 9 to noon Eastern, 6 to 9 local. So I'm on 6 to 9 local time.
Yes.
I'm staying on East Coast time. So I'm getting up at 2:30, 3 o'clock in the morning, right? Now, you do a national show that airs East Coast time primarily, but also you're on
West
in the
Coast.
entire country, and you guys are based in the West Coast. So take us through your morning, what that's like when you wake up, and what a day in the life of Manti Te'o is like.
So we are live at 5 a.m. Pacific Standard Time.
Woo-hoo-hoo-hoo!
So the alarm goes off at 3. We have a production call at 3:30. I drive from Orange County, where I live, about 35 minutes to Inglewood, California. Our office is right next to SoFi Stadium. We are live at 5. We shoot live from 5 to 7, and then we have our syndicated show from 7 to 9.
Good Morning Football Overtime.
Good Morning Football Overtime. I'm usually home around 10-ish, which is the positive part about that. I'm usually missing all the traffic because nobody really is on the road at 3:30 in the morning. And then I get ready the next day. We start getting ready around 4 p.m. to get ready for the next day's show. But it's been a blast, man. I've always said it's a blessing to love what you do, but more importantly, love the people you do it with. And I love my Good Morning Football family. They've been a tremendous had a tremendous impact on my career so far, and I'm excited to see where it goes.
What time do you go to bed?
So that's all predicated on my kids. Now, my wife is an MVP because I have a 4-year-old and a 3-year-old.
I have a 2-year-old. I've kind of same boat.
So you know how that is. And they like to stay up and all of that stuff. But we have a system where we'll start to take them upstairs around 7, get them all ready. I'm usually in bed by 8. I'll usually knock out around 8:30. And so I get a pretty good night of sleep, and then I'm ready to rock and roll the next day.
We'll talk about Super Bowl 60. We'll talk some ball here. But again, I'm fascinated to pick your brain on what it's been like as a broadcaster, right? What would you say is your favorite thing about being on, and it can be the people you work with, it can be something else. What's your favorite thing about being on the air on Good Morning, which is an iconic brand?
Yes, we are a rather lax show. You know, we're not too heavy in the analytics of football and the X's and O's. The beautiful part about Good Morning Football is we balance football with pop culture, you know, current events that are happening in the world, and try to figure out a way to make that thing weave into a beautiful quilt that we can put on TV from 5 to 7 Pacific Standard Time. That's what I love. I love who I work with. Jamie Erdahl and Kyle Brandt have become a brother and sister of mine, somebody who I would easily invite over to my house for a potluck. And it's just been a blast, bro. I love our show. I love who I work with.
Can you, for the people watching the show right now, can you bring your sleeve up a little bit, show them your tattoo? So that is, what is like the proper title for a tattoo?
A tatau. A tatau.
I have to tell you, I kind of wish like I were some. I think these are. It's and I'm a huge wrestling fan. Like the Romans got them, and the whole bloodline's got them.
Yep.
So I have Japanese tattoos, right? And I've thought about this, right? So my full sleeve probably took 24 hours to finish. Not in a row, the full.
Okay, okay.
So 12 hours for the top, and 12 hours for the bottom.
That's still a long time.
It's a long time.
Yeah.
But that is way more intricate, even though this has color, than mine.
Yes.
How long did that full sleeve take to complete?
So mine goes all the way up to my shoulder as well. So
does it extend onto your chest or no?
No, so it ends right here. The first part took 8, second part took 7, and then the third part took 6, and that's just for the elbow up. And then from the elbow down took another, I believe it was 6 for the front, and then about 6 or 7 for the back.
You're like almost 40 hours for that full sleeve.
Almost 40 hours. Obviously not all in a row. I actually got the top part done when I was a freshman in college, and I just got the bottom one done when I got married and started having my children.
Will you judge me for what I'm about to say? We'll find out. So for the bottom half of my full sleeve, I got it done recently. I used numbing cream.
No, bro.
You judge or no?
No, I'm not a judge. I'm not a judger of anything or anybody or any act. You know, it's just like, hey,
would
listen.
you use numbing cream?
No, I wouldn't. And I wouldn't be telling the truth if I didn't think about it. I was like, man, why would anybody enjoy sitting under that needle?
Okay, so that just makes an obvious follow-up question, Manti, which is why did you choose to do that then?
Just because for me being Polynesian, for me understanding the culture, I always wanted to make sure that I did things as close to the cultural preference as possible, so that whenever asked, did you get it done? Yes, I got it done without numbing cream. It doesn't make me more of a macho. It doesn't make me more a meaner dude.
I kind of think it does, honestly.
Bro.
As someone who's used numbing cream, I kind of think it does.
Nah, bro. No, it looks beautiful. It's great. At the end of the day, bro, I'm representing my culture. You're representing something that's near and dear to you, and that's all that matters.
That's awesome. Who's going to win the Super Bowl and why?
I got the Seattle Seahawks, but I say that with a lot of caution.
Okay.
I think what the Patriots have with Mike Vrabel, with Josh McDaniels, I think the Patriots are a more consistent team than the Seattle Seahawks. I think the Seattle Seahawks are red hot. I think they are very explosive. But there is an aspect to them offensively through Sam Darnold, where if Sam Darnold's hot, there's no chance that the Patriots are going to win. If Sam Darnold is cold, look out. And so I do have the Seattle Seahawks kind of edging in that regard, but I always keep going back and forth because of the experience that Mike Vrabel has and Josh McDaniels. They have over a decade of Super Bowl experience between the two of them. That is something that I don't think people pay a lot of attention to.
When you were watching the college football playoff reveal and Miami popped up on the screen, what did you think?
You know, honestly, I didn't really care too much about Miami or even Alabama getting in. It was, and this is no disrespect to the two smaller schools that got in.
Yeah, James Madison and Tulane.
Yeah,
I'll disrespect them so you don't have to. No one wanted to see James Madison or Tulane in the cup. With respect,
and that's
no one wants to see
what they did and what they accomplished. What they accomplished was special. I will say that is the difference between football and basketball. This isn't March Madness. Like, you're not going to have a school come in there and all of a sudden upset on Alabama or upset Georgia. Like, that's just not going to happen in football, right? So,
especially now in the NIL era, it's not going to happen.
The teams that are at the top are there for a reason. And if you looked at it, if you wanted the 12 best teams in college football, Notre Dame was one of those 12.
And I can just give you some perspective. I feel like a lot of people felt that if a team was going to win that was not Ohio State or Indiana, it was going to be Notre Dame.
Notre Dame. And that was the year, right? So it was just, we made it to the national championship 2 years ago.
Yep.
We didn't make it to the college football playoff this year, but I think that the approach that Coach Marcus Freeman has had this year is like, hey, we can't blame nobody else but ourselves. We're the ones that lost those 2 games. So what can we do to not put ourselves in that position again? And I think he's going to do a phenomenal job.
I'm using this word. You don't have to. How do you feel about the fact that they're basically raking it so that Notre Dame will make the playoff moving forward? If I were a Notre Dame fan, I'd absolutely love it.
You know, it's so funny. I think to a certain point, the higher powers that be were trying to make an example, and Notre Dame said, okay, if you're going to play that game, we're going to play it this way.
I love it.
And it was just like, if you're going to do this, we're going to do it this way. And I was proud of them.
One more time, promote everything you guys got going on. Good Morning Football Overtime. The show is sensational.
Catch us live on NFL Network, Good Morning Football, from 5 to 7 a.m. Pacific Standard Time. And then we have our syndicated shows that broadcast everywhere in the country at random times. Tune into that. I mean, if you want to laugh, you want to learn a little about football and some storylines, so we got it all.
You're crushing it, man. I'm so happy for you, man. You're killing it in this role. Enjoy the rest of the week. We'll catch up with you down the line.
I appreciate it. Thanks, brother.
Manti. Right after this.
Indiana took care of business. Just an unbelievable storybook season for a team that entering the night only had, I think, like 5 all-time bowl game wins. They got another one, so they got 3 of those this year. That's how much of a perennial doormat Indiana had been year in and year out. Just a punchline. A lot of people saying, you go to a game in Bloomington, you're getting like 2 to 3 hours closer to the start of basketball season, but no longer a basketball school is IU. Very much a football school front and center, and one that really deserved to win the national title. I felt they were the best offense, felt they were the best defense, a most balanced team across the board, and all of college football pretty much all season long. I saw with my own eyes again in late September when they absolutely pummeled, embarrassed, depended by ILL. And I'm still shivering at what I had to witness, 63-10 mauling in Bloomington. I think that really put them on the map. And, of course, they just kept winning and winning and winning and defying a lot of the people, especially those south of the Mason-Dixon line, south of the Ohio River. Oh, golly, there's no way that Indiana can win a national title in football. This is Alabama country. This is Bulldog country. This is volunteer country. The SEC rules in football. Well, guess what? It happened. And the Big Ten has won now 3 straight consecutive national titles. Just unforeseen, unbelievable. And hopefully, Pat, Kurt Signetti, belt up the bar, not had one, but drank at least, I don't know, a 6-pack of beers last night because he earned them.
The biggest names in the business are on You Better You Bet with Nick Kostos.
Hey, this is Joe Buck, and you have done it. You have found it. You are listening to You Better You Bet. Great decision.
Hi, this is Kevin Harlan of CBS, Westwood One, and TNT, and I'm listening as you do every day to You Better You Bet with the most handsome single man in the radio business. A man who, if I was not married for 38 years, I might consider myself the kind of guy that can electrify a listening audience and a crowd of bystanders watching him do what he does so well each and every day. Continue to listen right here on You Better You Bet.
This is You Better You Bet on Westwood One Sports. Brought to you by BetMGM.
You Better You Bet, Westwood One Sports. Nick Kostos joining me right now on the show. This is a thrill for me now. We had Big E on the show yesterday.
Oh, lovely.
Yeah, it was great. And I said to him, and this is true, in my career, I've been around a lot of famous athletes, right? I host a sports show, celebrities. The only people I get starstruck around are professional wrestlers. And joining me right now on the show, WWE Champion and one of my all-time favorite wrestlers, CM Punk. It is great to have you here on the show. We'll be main eventing WrestleMania, Sunday night 42 in Las Vegas against Roman Reigns. Awesome promo, by the way, on Monday night.
It's what I do. Thank you.
Great to have you. How's Super Bowl week going?
So far, so good. This is like the last day I am on the road. I've been on the road for like 3-4 weeks. I was in 10 countries. I'm stopping here to do a bunch of press, and I get to go home tonight. I'm very excited.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
I'm going to hit you with some deep cuts.
Okay.
So you have had a lot of different like iterations of your character over the years,
Yes.
right? I think all of them are awesome. As crazy as this sounds, I actually think my favorite, and I am not straight edge. I'm not like a big drinker or a big smoker, but like I will have a drink sometimes, smoke sometimes. When you had the Straight Edge Society,
Yeah.
I thought that was absolutely the best. I have a picture of myself with the beer outside a Raw at Prudential Center in like 2013 with my Straight Edge Society t-shirt. Like, where does that one rank for you in over the course of your career?
Oh, I mean, if I was to say what was the most underrated iteration of CM Punk or moments in my career, I would definitely say that. Straight Edge Society was kind of near and dear to me. I had not free reign, but I had a lot to do with like a lot of the character direction and what we did. What I wanted to do with it, a lot of the times got kiboshed, but I did manage to sneak through a lot of stuff that I never thought we would be allowed to do on television.
Something else that I think is really underrated in your career, is my opinion, just as a fan watching. I think it was your initial heel run with Jeff Hardy when Jeff was the champion, right?
Yeah.
You came out, I want to say it was a SmackDown, and I actually think when you think of great moments on WWE TV, this one doesn't get mentioned, and for me, I remember watching it and thinking, this is one of the best things I've ever seen. So I think you're still a tweener at this point. I don't think you had turned. You come out, and Jeff's in the ring, and you take the microphone, and you go, you see Jeff, the thing is, and hit him in the side of the head with the microphone.
Yep.
And you hear like the thump.
Yeah.
And I thought that was I have like goosebumps right now thinking about it. Why do you think like that feud was so awesome? And I feel like it doesn't get the just due that it deserves.
Yeah, I think it's a pretty basic feud. And I always try to live by the the credo, like personal rivalries draw money. That's what's interesting. Anybody can fight over a title. Like we're here Super Bowl week. This isn't the Super Bowl matchup I think anybody picked. It's more interesting when there's a personal issue. Fighting over the Super Bowl is great. Somebody's going to win, somebody's going to lose. But man, if there were two guys, opposite teams that like you knew had history and hated each other, or they were former teammates, and now sometimes you got brothers on opposite sides. That's more interesting. The me and Jeff thing, I think we're two fan favorites, and we drew upon some real life things. And as a fan, you can't help but feel one way or another about it. And it got personal, and that's what made it special.
So, and we'll talk about the job that you and Roman did on Monday and the WrestleMania main event's coming up in a little bit. And I asked this question, like, not to like show people how the sausage is made or like expose like industry. I mean that sincerely. You are unquestionably, and I'm not just saying this because you're here, and it's true, one of the best promo guys in the history of the industry. Someone who every time you come out on the mic, it's electric. Like, it's tremendous. When you are conceptualizing, or maybe you don't do that, and some of it's, I don't know, when you kind of like know you're selling a huge match or it's a huge story, and you think about the promo that you're going to cut, what is CM Punk's creative process, as much as you'd like to share? And I understand if you'd like to keep it under wraps.
I'm constantly thinking. I can't shut my brain off. So I'm constantly cutting promos. A lot of people on the outside might think that I'm just talking to myself. And in a way I am, but it's constant, and the creative process to me, I can kind of distill it down to simple is better. And draw on real life situations and human emotions that are going to pull on people's heartstrings. I think, to me, it's better when there's a good guy and a bad guy. When it comes to me and Roman, I think we kind of transcend that a little bit. And different situations are going to lend yourself to different reactions, and different crowds are going to cheer or boo more or less based on, whatever. So when you get me and Roman in the ring together, all you know is it's going to be real loud, and it's going to be electric, and it's going to be good. I can't speak for him, but I can assume he feels the same way. I don't care if me and him are in front of each other and they pick a side, because more oftentimes than not, they do. But again, at this level, it's not good guy versus bad guy. It's superstar versus superstar. And I don't want Roman to change who he is, and I'm not going to change who I am. So it really is, as Gorilla Monsoon famously claimed, the irresistible force versus the immovable object.
Yeah, it's great.
So you're getting these two top guys, arguably the best guys in the business, and you put them in the ring, and it's going to be magic.
The first time I heard Gorilla Monsoon say that, WrestleMania 7, British Bulldog against the Warlord.
Okay.
Can he break out of the full Nelson? British Bulldog said he could, and he did. And he had Winston with him.
And then Warlord went bye-bye. Yeah.
Can I ask you about your personal life for a second?
Sure.
So you're always thinking, right?
Yeah.
I am not trying to put myself on CM Punk's level, but I kind of feel like I'm constantly thinking about my craft, right? And something I struggle with, I turn 43 later this year, is kind of the cost that comes with the striving for greatness, right? And does it have a toll on your personal life? And this is not like, I'm not trying to like dig into like you're married. That's not what this is. But do you ever find it difficult? You said like you can't turn it off. Do you ever try to like take the foot off the accelerator a little bit? Do you feel like that's necessary? Like, how do you navigate through that as someone who's at the top of his profession?
I think balance is very important. And yeah, when I'm at home and I'm with my wife, my phone is on the kitchen counter, and I'm focused on being at home, being present, being in the moment with her.
So important, right?
Yeah, I mean, you have to do it. Like, you have to have the highs and lows come whether you want them to or not. And I've learned now later in life to embrace like the recovery and the downtime. When I'm on the road, I'm beat up. I didn't get enough sleep. I'm still going to the gym because I got nothing else to do. Right. When I'm at home, man, I don't want to go to the gym. I just kind of want to sit and do the things that I don't get to do when I'm at work. And that's the balance, and I think that is very important. So, yeah, sometimes, even though I'm still thinking, I will take my foot off the pedal.
WWE Champion CM Punk here on You Better You Bet. Westwood One Sports will be in the main event, WrestleMania 42 against Roman Reigns. So, look, I'm a lifelong wrestling fan, right? And one of your big stories, and like, like times when maybe you should have been, right? Last year, you're in the main event, WrestleMania Saturday night, in a sick triple threat match, right? And it's awesome. And now, the Sunday main event. And just as someone who knows your career and like AEW, we don't have to get into any of that, just like I know the story, right? Now you're on the precipice of, you did Saturday, and it was probably the best match of WrestleMania. It definitely was. And now Sunday night,
I'll pump the brakes there. I appreciate it. But I think the girls outdid us. I think Io, Bianca, and Rhea.
Which, to be fair, was pretty sick.
Yeah, for my money, hats off, women.
Fair enough. Fair enough. But now on the precipice of this one, just like, what does it mean to you, man?
Listen, I could complain about all the quote-unquote champagne problems I got to deal with in my life, but this is literally everything I ever asked for. You know, I'm the champ heading into WrestleMania. There's not a lot that I haven't accomplished in this business. And to still be operating at this high level as a 47-year-old man, I mean, I think I'm doing the best work of my career. So why would I complain? I'm just grateful for it all. I know my window is closing. I know someday, you know, this is all going to end someday. You know what I mean? But until then, man, I'm going until the wheels fall off. I'm super proud of myself. I'm not going to give myself all these flowers while I'm still around. I think the proof is in the pudding. The proof is that I am strapped up. I'm the heavyweight champion. The fact that I'm on the cover of WWE 2K26, that's just the fruits of my labor, and it justifies all the hard work and sacrifice I put in to get here.
I think I'm gonna pay up for the Monday Night War edition with the NWO guys on the cover. I think is pretty awesome. My final one, and then we'll do a little WrestleMania promotion. The segment on Monday night that you guys had at the end, you and Roman, and I would encourage, even if you're not a wrestling fan, you should watch this because, look, I said this to Big E when he was on the show. When pro wrestling for me is great, it's Shakespeare. And I actually think it is an unmatched medium when you watch and something happens and your belief, you suspend your belief, and it's in those moments you mark out, right? And it's absolutely the best. And watching you guys on Monday night, like, I felt that way. When Roman says to you, I'm choosing you because I hate you. And like you said earlier, when you bring that personal stuff into it, like, it works. And I'm guessing in that moment, you're like, yeah, man, like, this is really, really awesome. Or maybe you're not feeling that way. I don't know.
You saw the smile on my face. Yeah, I was smiling.
Yeah.
That's real. Yeah, you hate me? Yeah. I got exactly what I wanted.
Awesome.
I'm glad you hate me.
Awesome.
I'm glad I'm under your skin. I'm in your head. Yeah, good luck with that. You know, like that's what CM Punk does, and that's how I win.
Main event of WrestleMania coming up. Tell the audience about it. I'll be watching for sure.
You know, it's not often in any industry that you get two giants, dare I say, cultural icons.
Two of the greatest of all times. I'm saying it.
Two of the best. Boots on the ground, still doing it. Don't care how often I'm there and how often he isn't. Doesn't matter. He's great at what he does. I am great at what I do, and one of the things that I'm really great at is getting the best version out of people. I don't care if it's at Drew McIntyre or Seth Rollins. I will make you level up. And for Roman Reigns, watching him and his career and his trajectory, a leveled up Roman Reigns is a scary proposition to anybody if your name isn't CM Punk. I need that. I need the best. That's what makes me the best in the world. When I beat these guys on the microphone, in the ring, I'm still showing everybody that at the highest level, there is nobody better than me. That's your WrestleMania main event. When you get two people with such devoted fan bases who are going to nitpick and yell and swear at each other on the road to WrestleMania. It's going to be electric. It's going to be fantastic, and it's going to be a main event that nobody's going to forget.
I don't know who I'm going to cheer for. I think you're both awesome.
That's
and
fine.
I think that's going to be like what it's going to be like. It's going to be great. Really appreciate the time. I would wish you the best. Elimination Chamber coming up in Chicago, where your home city. WrestleMania, I'd wish you luck. I know you don't need it. Thank you very much for joining us on the show.
Thanks for having me.
CM Punk here with us on You Better You Bet. The show continues on the other side.
Indiana took care of business. Just an unbelievable storybook season for a team that entered the night only had, I think, like 5 all-time bowl game wins. They got another one, so they got 3 of those this year. That's how much of a perennial doormat Indiana had been year in and year out. Just a punchline. A lot of people saying, you go to a game in Bloomington, you're getting like 2 to 3 hours closer to the start of basketball season, but no longer a basketball school is IU. Very much a football school front and center, and one that really deserved to win the national title. I felt they were the best offense, felt they were the best defense, a most balanced team across the board in all of college football pretty much all season long. I saw with my own eyes again in late September when they absolutely pummeled, embarrassed, depended by ILL. And I'm still shivering at what I had to witness, 63-10 mauling in Bloomington. I think that really put them on the map. And of course, they just kept winning and winning and winning and defying a lot of the people, especially those south of the Mason-Dixon line, south of the Ohio River. Oh, golly, there's no way that Indiana can win a national title in football. This is Alabama country. This is Bulldog country. This is volunteer country. The SEC rules in football. Well, guess what? It happened. And the Big Ten has won now 3 straight consecutive national titles. Just unforeseen, unbelievable. And hopefully, Pat, Kurt Signetti, belt up the bar, not had one, but drank at least, I don't know, a 6-pack of beers last night because he earned them.
It's You Better You Bet, live from Media Row in San Francisco on Westwood One Sports. Here's Nick Kostos.
You Better You Bet, Westwood One Sports. Nick Kostos here with you, presented by BetMGM. Joined now by San Francisco 49ers wide receiver Kendrick Bourne. Kendrick, how are you?
I'm doing well, Nick. How are you?
I am, I'm happy that you're here, but
Yes,
I have
sir.
to be honest about something.
Come on.
So I said to you off air, and we'll talk about the game.
Uh-huh.
The game that you guys, and you specifically had Thursday night early in the season against the Rams, where Mac's playing and Brock's out. Feels like the whole team is out.
Yeah.
And you on the road in LA, and you were open on every single play. And I remember I'm watching the game thinking, there's no everyone on the team is hurt except for Kendrick. How is he open on every play? And you guys ended up winning that game. So great job by you in that whole season. But we entered, myself and a couple friends, including a couple guys on the show, a big Survivor con. Do you know what Survivor is?
Yes.
Right. So
Yeah, we're on it.
we had the Rams.
Oh, man. No. I mean, that makes sense. That makes sense.
And
though.
you knocked
That
us
makes-
out.
that makes
So it
sense.
had we were watching it even more intently. Man, you killed it in that game. You had a great season. Congratulations on everything.
Yes, man. Thank you, man. That game was fun, man. It was just special to be able to take advantage of my opportunity when I started. Mac taking advantage of his opportunity to get in the game. It was just special. And on Thursday night, like I was telling you, to maximize the Thursday night game, primetime game, and make an impact like that, people remember it just kind of like how you did, which is dope. So I appreciate that, man. And I'm at where I'm at, so I got to keep going.
We'll talk about Born Blessed coming up in your music in a little bit, but just on the 49ers, man, I think what you guys were able to accomplish this year was unbelievable.
Facts.
Unbelievable with all the injuries. I'm a huge fan of your head coach, Kyle Shanahan.
Yes, sir.
Going on the road and beating the defending champs. But as undermanned as you guys were with all the injuries, I know it didn't end the way you wanted it. We could talk about the Super Bowl and talk about the Seahawks, but when you look back on this season, what is the emotion that you feel?
We took a good step forward with everything we dealt with. You know what I'm saying? We're resilient as a team, man. That's what was special. And I think Kyle and John did a good job of having depth on the team, the things that we needed for when guys go down. Like we just talked about, Jake Tonjes, Doom coming in after, stuff like that. That depth is important, but it shows the resilience, man. To be able to finish what we finished 13 and something, 12 and something, it's special to win that many games. It's not easy to win in the NFL, so we got a good spirit in the team when you go through adversity.
I said this on Monday on my show, so I'm not just saying it because you're here. I literally, it was one of the first things I did on the show on Monday because I'm flying here to the Bay Area to cover the game. And I get the notification on my phone while I'm in the air flying that you guys hired Raheem Morris as your defensive coordinator, right? And I know the history of Raheem and Kyle and how well he did with the Rams, helping the Rams win a Super Bowl. I said on the show on Monday, I think you guys are going to win the Super Bowl next year.
Wow, that's love.
Now, you got to stay healthy, obviously,
Absolutely.
right? But do you I'm not asking you to guarantee that you're going to win the Super Bowl, but do you kind of feel that way, that you guys are loaded coming into the season?
Absolutely. We lost. You know that we had a real strong potential of maybe getting further than what we got to. And you just kind of run out of firepower. But I love the vision of next year and where we could be. When you see Fred Warner almost coming back the same year and where he could potentially be this next year and how healthy he's going to be. So it's just a process for all those guys going through injury. I've been through injury. It's not easy, but it's exciting to look forward to what could possibly happen. And not, like you're saying, no estimates, no guesstimates in the things that we see, but we know we got a strong chance if everything goes right.
What the hell's going on with all the injuries that the Niners have every year?
Power plant.
No, okay. So here's what I think. I just have to say this. Are you? Because if you're being serious, people are going to carry that everywhere. Tell us about it.
It's weird. It's weird.
For people that don't know, there's an electrical substation by the facility that some people think is leading to some of these injuries. Do you buy that?
I kind of buy it. I'm a conspiracy theorist, so I don't know, bro. Our grass is brown on that side, and the soccer field on the other side is green. So that kind of trips me out a little bit, but I don't know, bro. It's so much research they probably have to do, but whatever we can do to help prevent injuries, we got to look into. So John said he's going to do it, and I think he will. So it's just crazy that that's even a thing, but that thing is a crazy, I was looking at it one time at practice, and I just was randomly kind of getting dozed off. I'm like, that thing is huge, bro. It's carrying real power. So I don't know if they can crank it more, crank it less, but that thing is serious. So I don't know.
Do the players on the team agree with you and think this is actually a thing?
Everybody's different. Some people don't care. Some people talk about it. Some people talk about it more than others. But I'm just one of those trolls that man, nah, bro, something ain't right. But it's just weird because you have the most injuries. So I don't know.
Every year.
Every year. So it's just tough, man. So I'll be feeling bad for Kyle. Even watching when I wasn't there, when I left to New England, like watching guys go down and certain injuries is like, man, that sucks. So, but like you said, if we get everybody together, they figure out the power plant, hey, we got a shot at anything we want to get to.
So you were on the 19 team that lost to Kansas City in the
Correct.
first Super Bowl, right? So I've said this to a couple people this week.
Mm-hmm.
I think if Kyle Shanahan finishes his career without a Super Bowl championship, I actually think it will be like an injustice.
Man,
given like whether it's Atlanta as the offensive coordinator against New England in Super Bowl 51, like overtime in the Super Bowl a couple years ago, the dropped interception in the NFC Championship game against the Rams.
Goodness.
Kind of like, how do you feel about your coach? You agree with that sentiment?
No, it's tough, bro. Like I love Kyle, bro, and like what he works so hard. So it would be terrible if he doesn't finish with one, man. But I believe he can get it done, man. Like I say, he grinds, he watches film, he sets us up to be in the right position, and it's gonna be a journey to see. I think he's gonna stick around for a long time. You know, what is he in year 9 of his head coaching career? So it's a long journey for him. So he can coach for 20 years possibly. So within that span, if he doesn't do it, man, I'm gonna be sad for him. But that'll suck. But I think he's gonna get it done.
I think you guys will also. I mean that sincerely. I'm going to pick you guys for the Super Bowl next year. Niners receiver Kendrick Bourne here with us on the show. You Better You Bet, Westwood One Sports, presented by BetMGM. Are you rooting against the Patriots in the Super Bowl?
That is funny.
Started the year with
everybody
them?
Asking me,
So this is like Kendrick Bourne's like nightmare Super Bowl, right?
Exactly. It's funny because when I left to New England, Niners went back to the Super Bowl in 2023, and I was like, man, I wish I was playing. So I have that same feeling. Yeah, of course, I wish I wanted to play in the game, but it's a different journey for me in my life, and I'm rooting for him, though. But I also love my guy Cooper Kupp, man. He's on the Seahawks, man, so I'm rooting for him, too. So I'm clashing between two, but New England, man, I had a lot of connection with a lot of players and guys over there, so I'm rooting for him, man. Hopefully, I'm looking for a good game, man, to see, and whoever comes out on top is going to be happy, but just the experience in itself for both sides is special.
There's almost no one that's better equipped to break down this game than you.
Exactly.
Played against Seattle, played against them in the playoffs. Obviously, the game didn't go your guys' way.
Yep.
Started the season with the New England Patriots.
Mm-hmm.
Who do you think's going to win on Sunday?
I think it's going to be a defensive game. Whoever plays better on defense is going to win. Obviously, you got to get stops. Obviously, you got to do what you got to do. But I think whoever makes more plays on defense, whether turnover-wise or whatever, is going to come out on top. I think it's going to be a low-scoring game, but both defenses are very special. And so it's not going to be a shootout. It's going to be a defensive hell game.
Give me one key player for each team that you think will be critical, and it can't be the quarterback, so not Darnold or May.
Okay.
One player could be offense, could be defense that you think will be critical to success. One for New England, one for Seattle.
JSN on Seahawks, obviously, he's going to be vital.
Is he the best receiver in the league?
For sure.
Number one
right
now. Better than Jefferson.
Yeah.
Better than Chase.
Yeah, he's number one right now. So you got to keep it up because Chase and them have done it consistently, but I believe he can. But then on New England, I think it's going to be like Christian Gonzalez. So like kind of that matchup. So he can't let JSN go too crazy, wreck the game, you know what I'm saying? So Gonzo can be able to slow that down. I don't know if Gonzo's going to follow or anything, but those two players are who I got.
What are you expecting from Sam Darnold in this game?
I'm expecting a good game, you know what I'm saying? Even Drake. So like Sam, just his story, man, I admire it a lot just to take the journey from bringing his career back to what he wanted it to be. He's special, man. He's special, and I love guys that go through adversity and comeback story. I love comeback stories, so I'm excited to see how he plays.
I'll be honest. So like the playoff game against it didn't go great, right?
Yeah.
I was laughing really hard when Pinheiro tried to.
Yes, bro. Come on, Eddie.
Tried to trip.
What are you doing? What is he doing? That was funny though, bro. It's funny because it's actually kind of smart because if you couldn't get him, trip him, so you take the penalty rather than a touchdown. But I think he wasn't practicing his soccer slides enough.
It was unreal, man. I'm laughing so hard at that play.
Funny. That play hurt us so bad. Oh my gosh.
Yeah, because it's like game starts and you're the
rough.
Underdog in the game.
It's just rough. So that was a funny play and a tough play at the same time.
What did you think of your old head coach Bill Belichick not getting into the Hall of Fame on the first ballot?
It's ridiculous, bro. It's ridiculous. I just told a story in another interview about how he coached me in certain drills and stuff and how it helped me become a better runner with the ball. And just those little details of what I learned from him makes me automatically believe he's a first ballot. So they talk about Spygate, all this other stuff, but he's first ballot, bro. There's no question.
Where does Brock Purdy rank for you among the best quarterbacks in the league?
Oh, wait. Top 5. I'm going to put him at number 3. I'm going to go, what's his name? From the Rams.
Stafford.
Stafford. I'm gonna go Sam, bro, because he's balling.
Okay.
And I got Brock. Then I
Brock,
got Mac Jones.
Brock.
And then I got. But then my guys, man. But Brock top 5. Brock's a baller. It's just once we get the team right back together, get healthy, he even gonna play better.
What's it going to be like for George Kittle working his way? Because I think you guys need him to probably win that Super Bowl next season.
Bro. I think George has the right mentality through the process of the things he does, how he practices, how he attacks everything. I think he's going to attack rehab the same way. So Achilles are actually different like ACLs. Like usually you see guys walking and moving quicker than you would expect. So I think George is going to be one of those guys that he's ahead of his schedule.
Are you going to I'm going to give you advice you didn't ask for.
Come on.
You when your career's over, like, are you gonna do media?
Bro, I don't know. So I love making music. I love doing YouTube.
I'm
just content and stuff like that.
I'm gonna ask you specifically about the music in a second. So we will get to it. I promise.
But you know what I'm saying? That all flows into media in like that sense. So like my natural speaking ability, connecting is easy.
Your charisma. I don't say this to everyone that comes on.
Nick.
Your charisma's through the roof.
Thank you, bro.
Like, you're funny.
Yes, sir.
You're likable.
Absolutely.
You know what you're talking about. When your playing career is done, I don't know who your agent is. You need to be on television, like literally like the day you retire.
I really appreciate that.
I don't
bro.
say
That's
that
love.
to everybody.
I believe you, bro. I appreciate that, man. So it's a choice too. You know what I'm saying? Like how I carry myself, you know what I'm saying? My perspective about it. And I know I have a way of getting through to people and influencing people. So I carry that, I don't carry that lightly. You know what I'm saying? It's important.
Okay. Are you ready for this?
Come on.
Okay. So this is me, right? So I'm going to show, these are the text conversation with myself, Femi, and Tyler.
Okay.
These are the guys. We were in the Survivor contest. We had the Rams. So that's me, Nick Kostos. Let's see what that says.
Stop playing off-board.
This is ridiculous. This is ridiculous. All eyes on 84. You dominated our text chain that night. I'm literally watching.
Sorry, guys.
Why rough you in that game?
I don't know. It's funny because I came out of the woodworks too. So I didn't probably
yes and no.
Yes
because,
and no. It's true.
Because it's not like you're a receiver. No one knows who you are.
Absolutely.
And you've had success with the Niners. So I'm just like, it's not like you were on the practice squad. No one knew who you were. Everyone knows who you are. And Chris Shula's not covering you.
It's so funny because like they game plan. You know what I'm saying? So they probably was like, nah, we'll see how he does. But they took me lightly. So let's go.
Tyler said, I bet you're over in the game.
Yes,
so
good job.
I had your over in the game,
good
so
job.
you owe me some money
yes,
also.
Sir. Yes, sir.
Tell us, my friend, about Born Blessed and your music.
Yes, sir. Born Blessed, man. I actually got a clothing brand, making music, and I got a foundation, man. I'll start with the clothing brand. I got it on right now, man. I got some shirts and stuff, man. I got a shirt for you, honestly.
Yeah.
Yes, sir. But the lingo behind the brand is, everybody was born for a reason, man. You know what I'm saying? You got a purpose in life. You're not just gonna know at it when you come out the womb, but as you go through life, building relationships, connecting, you'll know you was born blessed, man. So. And then I make music. My artist name is Born Blessed. Everything Born Blessed, but making gospel rap, man. Promoting good energy, good words for the people, influencing people the right way. And then the foundation, man, just helping kids and like high school age, underprivileged youth, just get on the path that I was on. I had a high school coach really help me get on the right path. Rest in peace, his soul, Don Johnson. So just carrying that torch, trying to help people experience what I've experienced by getting on the right path.
I'm excited to watch your playing than you.
Yes,
I think if you guys stay healthy, the Niners are going to win the Super Bowl. I'm more excited to see what you do your career.
Yes, sir.
That's
yes,
crazy.
Sir.
And I don't mean that disrespectfully.
No, thank you,
I mean
man.
that respectfully.
No, thank you. I appreciate that, man. I'm just trying to create lanes, learn who I am outside of football right now as I'm playing. So that's been something I'm working on.
Is there anything else you'd like to say about the Seahawks, the Patriots, etc.? I know that you have a lot of really interesting, entertaining things to say.
I think it's gonna be a good game. I'm excited to watch, man. Shout out to my guys in New England. Shout out Cooper Kupp, my boys. I hate the Seahawks, but shout out Coop.
Kendrick Bourne joining us here on the show. We appreciate it, my man.
Thanks, Nick. Thanks for having me.
Kendrick Bourne here on You Better You Bet. The show continues on the other side.
Indiana took care of business. Just an unbelievable storybook season for a team that entering the night only had, I think, like 5 all-time bowl game wins. They got another one, so they got 3 of those this year. That's how much of a perennial doormat Indiana had been year in and year out. Just a punchline. A lot of people saying, you go to a game in Bloomington, you're getting like 2 to 3 hours closer to the start of basketball season, but no longer a basketball school is IU. Very much a football school front and center, and one that really deserved to win the national title. I felt they were the best offense, felt they were the best defense, a most balanced team across the board in all of college football pretty much all season long. I saw with my own eyes again in late September when they absolutely pummeled, embarrassed, depended by ILL. And I'm still shivering at what I had to witness, 63-10 mauling in Bloomington. I think that really put them on the map. And, of course, they just kept winning and winning and winning and defying a lot of the people, especially those south of the Mason-Dixon line, south of the Ohio River. Oh, golly, there's no way that Indiana can win a national title in football. This is Alabama country. This is Bulldog country. This is volunteer country. The SEC rules in football. Well, guess what? It happened, and the Big Ten has won now 3 straight consecutive national titles. Just unforeseen, unbelievable, and hopefully, Pat, Kurt Signetti, belled up the bar, not had one, but drank at least, I don't know, a 6-pack of beers last night because he earned them.
It's You Better You Bet, live from Media Row in San Francisco on Westwood One Sports. Here's Nick Kostos.
Biggest game of the year calls for a boost pack that's just as big. BetMGM rolling out the big game boost pack, giving you 3 different ways to boost the odds on your next big game bet. Here's how it works. First, log in and your big game boost pack going to be waiting for you. Next, add any big game bet to your bet slip and activate the boost token you want to use. And finally, if that bet hits with the token activated, you're getting extra winnings on top of your payout. So if you want to add a little more excitement to your big game action, make sure you grab the big game boost pack from BetMGM so you can make it legendary. Download the BetMGM app today, and please gamble responsibly. And be sure to check the app out. Bill, you wrote, this is like ass backwards. Bill wrote, be sure to check the app out. It's got to be heading into the weekend. Be sure to check the app out. I'm anal retentive. Bill does a good job. He'll also walk on camera here. Bill's wearing a suit today. Bill looks good today. Look at Bill Zimmerman wearing a suit. You look good, buddy. I appreciate it. All right, get the hell out of here. Bill Zimmerman here with us on the show. Be sure to check the app out heading into the weekend for exclusive odds flashes, making BetMGM the best place to bet on the big game. Oh, man. NBA season. I kind of feel like I follow it all year round, but I feel like for most of the big football fans, NBA season kind of starts today, right? Trade deadline coming up at 3 p.m. Eastern time, and one of our absolute favorites, and hope to get him on a lot as we come down the stretch of the NBA regular season and in the postseason. I believe this is his first appearance in our new time slot on this new show, You Better You Bet on Westwood One Sports with Nick Kostos. So if you have never heard or seen this gentleman before, his work covering the NBA is second to none in this business. He is the best from the Action Network, Locked On NBA, Buckets Podcast, the great Matt Moore on Twitter at HP Basketball. My friend, welcome back to the show. How are you?
Hey, man. Glad to see you there on Radio Row. The jacket looks very dapper as I'm watching you wherever you're streaming the video. You look fantastic. Am I to understand that I'm on the same program with the best in the world? Is that accurate, that I'm on the same program?
Well, you are on the show with me. That is accurate. Matt is talking, of course, about CM Punk, who yes, but that was, and I think for the people that are watching the show, like, I'm wearing a different outfit in those interviews because we taped them yesterday after the show. And I think I even say that at a bunch of them because we're on 6 to 9 a.m. local time here. A lot of like the celebrities and the famous athletes, they're arriving a little later in the day, so we pre-taped them. We pre-taped a lot yesterday, playing them today. Matt Moore is joining us live here on Trade Deadline Thursday. My friend, got a lot to get to in the NBA, and I can't wait to get your opinions on what's happening right now. Let's start with the latest on Giannis Antetokounmpo. Do you think Milwaukee trades him? What's happening here with Giannis and the Milwaukee Bucks hours away from the trade deadline?
Okay, I've been under the belief that he's not going to get traded before the deadline. I've been there for about 2 weeks. All the conversation about the Golden State Warriors and them having the best package and will do anything, whatever they have to get him and all this stuff. Someone was clearly leaking to the same people over and over and over again. That's okay. Like, that happens a lot. And you've got reliable sources that are closer to the situation, but that never made sense. Talking to the people that I have, my understanding has been, and let me put it this way. A rival executive is not involved in the talks said, if you were the Bucks and you're not Nico Harrison, and just do the most insane thing imaginable, what do you do? And the answer is you get as good of a package as you can before the deadline. Don't trade him. And then in the summer, when more teams have stuff to trade, like the Knicks and the Heat, you come back and you say, this was our best offer at the deadline. This is the bar to beat. You have more now. What are you willing to offer? And you just keep ramping up the price because it's Giannis and people will pay. Their leverage isn't diminishing. They've got him on contract. Unless Giannis walks in the building today and says, guys, I'm tired of this. I really want to be done. I want you to move me, and I want you to move me to this team. Unless that happens, and it can, I don't think he gets traded because there's no advantage for them taking a deal now versus later. The offers only get better for the Bucks unless Giannis walks in and applies pressure, which he hasn't. They're going to wait until this summer, I think.
Percent chance that Giannis gets traded today, in your estimation, is like 0, 1%? What do you think?
No, it's like 35. There's like a 35%.
Oh, okay.
Chance. Yeah.
And who's the most likely suitor? If that happens, who's the most likely suitor for Giannis?
It's Minnesota. I think it's Minnesota, and then I think it's the Lakers, and then I think it's the Knicks. That's the three teams. The
Lakers?
Yes. So very quietly over the last couple of days, you've started to hear like some of the Lakers reporters kind of burbling. That means somebody was excited enough about the talks to start leaking it. I have maintained this.
If you trade for him, what do they have to trade for him?
Austin Reeves. That's the trick here.
Okay.
Is if you're looking at this and you're like, look, we're not getting good picks from anybody. Nobody's got picks. Nobody's got picks left. Oklahoma City has them all, and they're not looking to make the deal. So if you move past the picks portion of this and you say, what is the best asset on the board? Is it Jaime Jaquez? No, it is not. Is it Andrew Wiggins? No, it is not. Is it Karl Anthony Towns? Maybe. Okay. Is it, if the Knicks could get Karl Anthony Towns to a third team and send assets, and OG Anunoby to a third team and send assets, that would get the Knicks, I think, into a pretty good position. But if we're just talking, and same thing with the Wolves with Jaden McDaniels, Naz Reid. But if we're just talking about what's the player that the Bucks are getting back to start the next era of their franchise with, Austin Reeves is their best option. He's a guy that played at like an incredibly high level earlier this season when he was healthy. And again, all things in the NBA, eventually the arc of the NBA universe bends towards the Lakers. I'm not someone that hypes up that team, but I will say, like, I do not think it's absolutely impossible that Giannis winds up sharing a court with Luka Doncic.
I don't know if this matters or not, but literally seconds ago, Sham Charania from ESPN tweeting, the LA Lakers are trading Gabe Vincent and a 2032 second rounder to the Atlanta Hawks for Luke Kennard. I love, by the way, that Atlanta signs and trades for all these guys in the offseason and like they're all gone now. Like, great job by Atlanta. Does this matter at all for anything? Is this just a move in a vacuum here, the Lakers trading for Luke Kennard?
Yeah, it's just a move in a vacuum. They want to move off of Gabe Vincent. Yeah, it adds him another shooter. I don't think this has anything to do with the Giannis stuff. It might signal just because they sent out the second rounder. It's like if you're gonna do that deal, you'd have to send everything in the cupboard that is not nailed down. So it's entirely possible. Yeah. What I think is interesting about this one is that they've been trying to move Rui Hachimura and Gabe Vincent together as a package, and the fact that they had to split this up might mean that the Lakers are not finding what they wanted out there for that package.
Let's just play this out in the event a potential trade happens. So let's just use the three teams that you referenced, right? Which is the Timberwolves, the Lakers, and the Knicks. If Giannis gets traded to any of those three teams, do any of those three teams in your eyes become a legitimate contender to win not to like get to the finals, not to like lose to OKC in the conference final? Do any of those teams become legitimate NBA finals contenders? Lakers, Wolves, Knicks with Giannis.
Lakers do not. The Wolves and Knicks do. The Wolves and the Knicks. The Wolves would be a very, very big problem. They just traded for Ayo Dosunmu this morning. That was a very good deal, piece of work that they pulled off with the Chicago Bulls, sending 4 second rounders along with Rob Dillingham and Leonard Miller just to get Ayo Dosunmu. You would have, he basically replaces Nickeil Alexander-Walker. So if you're sending, I don't know that you can get this deal done without Dillingham, which was one of the only kind of young players that they had available. But if you're able to get that deal done with Jaden McDaniels, Naz Reid, Julius Randle, I've floated the idea, this is speculative, but I think they should personally look to do a 3-team deal with Rudy Gobert going somewhere. You move off of Rudy Gobert's money as he ages and add Giannis. Pretty good piece of work if they were to pull that off. But look, the Wolves would have Anthony Edwards, one of Jaden McDaniels or Rudy Gobert, and Giannis Antetokounmpo. That puts you in contention to win the title. The Thunder don't like size. That's the one thing they do not like to see. That would be a real problem for them. The Knicks, I mean, any deal where the Knicks get Giannis immediately puts them, back above Pistons. You're feeling like they are the preeminent force in the Eastern Conference because that combination of Brunson's clutch shooting, the spacing they have around him with whatever they have left, and Giannis is too much. So yeah, this could absolutely shape the NBA title market.
You bet here on Radio Row, Westwood One Sports, live in San Francisco, California, presented by BetMGM. Nick Kostos joined by Matt Moore from the Action Network on Twitter at HP Basketball. Matt, what's going to happen today, if anything, with embattled Memphis Grizzlies star guard Ja Morant?
Most likely destination, I think, is the Miami Heat in a pure cash dump for Terry Rozier's expiring contract. Second most likely
and his
scenario.
Gambling scandal?
Second most likely, under indictment expiring contract of Terry Rozier. The next possible option is the Sacramento Kings, but it sounds like those talks may be cooling. The only thing there is for Memphis, it's basically, would you rather have the headache of Ja Morant or the headache of Zach LaVine trying to move that contract? It's just swapping pieces. It doesn't really do anything for either team. I think Ja's probably got a lot of upside because I think the coaching has really done badly by him, and he's going to grow up a lot. He's done a lot of this, but Ja's a better player than Zach LaVine. Like, there's a lot of upside there. So if you're the Kings or you're, really if you're Miami, I think it's worth taking a flyer on these guys, considering that the market is nothing. My understanding from everybody I've talked to, and maybe the Grizzlies pull a rabbit out of a hat, my understanding is they're not getting anything for Ja. It's a pure cash dump, but I do expect him to find a new team by the end of the day.
So those are the two big ones, right? Potentially could get traded today, Giannis and Ja Morant. Am I missing anything, Matt, that you think is out there, maybe percolating off the radar right now? Anything you're expecting to happen or think might happen in between now and the trade deadline at 3:00 that me and others may not be expecting?
Yeah, I mean, some of this is like some of the stuff we thought was going to happen. We knew Kobe White was going to get moved. I thought Ayo wasn't going to get moved until Monday, and then I started hearing that he was likely to get moved too. A couple teams, I can tell you the teams to watch out for. I don't think the Raptors are done. They traded for Trace Jackson Davis last night. I think they are still looking for a pretty sizable move. Like, they are not looking to stand pat. They're looking to get off of Emmanuel Quickley's money. They are willing to include RJ Barrett in deals. They have had conversations with a lot of different teams. I will not be surprised if they pick up conversations with the Kings for Domantas Sabonis. The Phoenix Suns are shopping for a power forward. I would not be I think a very natural fit is Santi Aldama with the Memphis Grizzlies. I don't know how much of those calls have been made. The other option for them is Miles Bridges from the Charlotte Hornets. Hornets are playing great, and I don't know what that impacts in terms of Bridges, but they have still continued to take calls and make calls about Miles Bridges. So I think that continues to kind of happen. Orlando, I'm not expecting anything from. Houston has signaled they're not going to do anything. They have signaled strongly they're not going to do anything. I do wonder if they make one last push for Giannis before the window closes on the deadline. But I don't expect anything out of Houston. And then San Antonio always operates in silence, but there are people around the league that are kind of curious if they're going to move Harrison Barnes, Keldon Johnson, look to kind of sort things out there and add some stuff for the playoff run. Those are the teams that I'm most interested to see what they do today.
And the Spurs, another win yesterday over the Oklahoma City Thunder. Matt, would love like 30 seconds on each of the two big trades we saw yesterday on Wednesday in the NBA. Anthony Davis going to the Wizards, and I opened the show by saying, now it's official, if it wasn't before, the Luka Doncic trade is the worst trade of all time, and Cooper Flagg was very lucky, obviously, for Dallas that they ended up with him. So thoughts on Anthony Davis to the Wizards, and thoughts on Kristaps Porzingis to the Warriors. About a minute total for the answer.
Yeah, I'm a little bit higher on the Wizards after thinking about it than I was initially. I don't love it because they're trying to accelerate the timeline, but the fit is so natural. Trae Young, Anthony Davis, that's a great lob combo. Sarr is the perfect big to put next to him, and they have young talent. Win total is probably going to be around 40 next year, somewhere between 36.5 to 40. I'll probably look for the under in that kind of spot because they'll just overestimate the impact of those two guys, especially with injuries. But it is a pretty good move for them. Dallas, they just ended the chapter. I think getting the amount that they got was pretty good for Dallas. You can at least move on, and I like a lot of the various random parts they were able to get in that deal, even if the picks aren't great. That one was good. Ja Morant, Jaren Jackson Jr., the Utah Jazz, really fascinating deal. Utah's win total is going to be great next year. That team's going to be a wagon. I think Jaren Jackson's maybe the most impactful move of the deadline so far. He's been absolutely incredible. Kristaps Porzingis to the Warriors, another quiet one. If he can stay healthy, that really does impact things, but I'm very skeptical of that, about that moving the needle for them.
Any bets, Matt, for the wagerers in the audience in the Futures Market Awards? Could be a bet for tonight. We have about 45 seconds for the answer.
Yeah, so over tonight in the Lakers-Sixers game, 222.5. The over is 17 and 8 in games when Austin Reeves plays for the Lakers, and even better when Austin Reeves plays with Luka Doncic. You basically can't kind of quantify the cumulative impact of Luka Doncic next to Reeves, both positively offensively and negatively defensively. So I really have loved this spot, been playing it consistently. The over in Sixers, Lakers, regardless of whether Embiid plays tonight, I think is a really good look. And in the awards market, honestly, I think one of the good things to look at here is I just don't think Embiid or Wembanyama is going to be able to make it through. I'm skeptical of Chet Holmgren walking away with Defensive Player of the Year. I still think Rudy Gobert has a really good chance of walking away with that award, and he's at a longer number. If he doesn't get traded today, I think Rudy Gobert, Defensive Player of the Year, has a lot of value in that market.
Absolute best. Love having you. Hope to do this more often on in the new time slot on this new show. Stay well, and we'll catch up with you down the line.
Anytime for you, man. Take care.
The great Matt Moore joining me here on You Better You Bet, one of the best when it comes to breaking down the NBA on social media at HP Basketball. 2 hours down, final hour coming up next, and the final hour is the Power Hour. And we've got great guests on the way. Pro Sports bettor Rob Pizzola, Kelly Stewart and Ariel Epstein, Pro Football Hall of Famer Emmitt Smith, Scott Graham from Westwood One, coming up next here from San Francisco.
Yeah, this is was really a 1A, 1B for me. I mean, I love Wrigley Field with a fiery passion, but I've been to this venue, and it is iconic. I think it's still a little bit underrated on the national scene, and it is unlike any other sports arena in the country to see a hoops game, and that's Mackey Arena in West Lafayette, the home of the Purdue Boilermakers. Of course, Illinois just won there over the weekend, but you're right on top of the action. They see about 14,000 in there. It is rowdy, it is raucous, and it is downright loud. It is unlike any other basketball arena in the country. You know, some of the, the ones that are, they're all in the round, obviously, but like the United Center is rather cavernous. This is not, even though it's got 14,000 people in there. Again, you're right on top of everything. You can hear everything. It's just an amazing place. The energy is through the roof, and bar none, my opinion, Mackey Arena takes the cake here. Best venue in sports to see any type of game, and preferably, of course, hoops.
This is You Better You Bet, live from San Francisco on Westwood One Sports. Here's your host, Nick Kostos.
Kenny. You Better You Bet on Westwood One Sports. Nick Kostos. We have like 100 people here. They're everywhere. And you. The Power Hour and every hour here on You Better You Bet, brought to you by BetMGM. Make it legendary by downloading the BetMGM app and visiting BetMGM.com. Day 4, Radio Row in San Francisco, California, the site of Super Bowl 60. Rooms starting to fill up a little bit. It is, what time? It's 8 o'clock. It's 8 a.m. It's early. It's early out here. 8 a.m. on the West Coast. Kelly Stewart and Ariel Epstein coming up 20 minutes from now, live on set. Pro Football Hall of Famer of the Dallas Cowboys, Emmitt Smith, will join me live on set later this hour. My good friend Scott Graham will close it off, of Westwood One, studio host for all the NFL coverage, the great Scott Graham, to close the show. But joining me right now, celebrity Dallas Cowboys fan, and I'm guessing he's pumped up about the Emmitt Smith interview that will occur on this show later this hour. Celebrity Cowboys fan, pro sports bettor of the Hammer, Circles Off, Forward Progress. And speaking of Forward Progress, my friend Rob Pizzola, who joins me now on the show, hosted yesterday his annual Super Bowl prop extravaganza, like a 4-hour show featuring tons of great names from the sports betting field, content creators, including former You Better You Bet co-host Ken Barkley on the show yesterday. So you can find that wherever you find your podcasts. Just search Forward Progress. You can find it on YouTube as well. And follow Rob on Twitter at Rob Pizzola. Welcome back to the show, my friend. Happy Super Bowl week. How are you?
I'm doing great. Listen, I'm not going to lie to you, Nick. Like, the 2-week gap between the Super Bowl always gets me every year. It's just like feels so stretched out and prolonged. I can't wait to actually get down to the game. But we're closer. We're getting closer. I'm more excited about that. And I've started firing a lot of bets in the last few days as well. So that's occupied a lot of my time.
Before we get to the bets, if there was one question that Rob Pizzola could ask Emmitt Smith, what would that question be and why?
So I'd be very, very horrible, but I really have to think about these a long time in advance. I don't know how you do it, Nick, especially on Radio Row, where you just see people that like you didn't expect to see, and you're like, hey, come on over, let's chat. Like, that's not me. I think the most, like, for me, when I was a kid growing up, I was obviously a huge Homer Cowboys fan. I used to have these debates all the time with friends about Emmitt Smith versus Barry Sanders. And now as I've gotten older, I'm willing to admit to myself that Barry Sanders is probably the better overall back.
Yeah, Barry's better. Barry's better. Emmitt's still great, but Barry's better. Yeah, there's no question.
But the, everyone be like, oh, like the offensive line for Dallas is so good. Emmitt doesn't have to do anything. I really wonder how he feels about that and whether that really bothered him over the course of his career. Because
I'm going to ask him.
Yeah, it feels like for a guy of that echelon, he was a great back. And I think he would have been successful even with a mediocre offensive line. And I don't think people give him enough credit nowadays. It just goes to, oh, well, great O-line. He didn't have to do anything. He was just running free. Well, it's not that easy.
And just to say, I appreciated the kind words there. I will not say the name of we had a current NFL player yesterday when we pre-taped stuff after the show. And while he was sitting next to me, I had to go to his Pro Football Reference page to be like, when did he start playing? Where did he start? And I'm pretty sure he saw me doing it during the interview. So that's a thing that actually happened. So, you do the best you can at the time with what you've got. All right, we have Rob on the show. Go ahead.
I was going to say, Nick, I'm not, blowing smoke up your what, but I've encountered many people in this space before that have a degree of football knowledge or at least recollection that I no longer have. And I watch tons of, I've always been an NFL fan. My good friend Eric Eager, VP of Analytics for the Carolina Panthers, he does these immaculate grids. He's pulling out players that I forgot existed. I think you, Nick, are number one in terms of just, I could hit you with anything and you just remember it all. So for you to actually have to dig into,
it was not the A-list guest of all time. Not a great job by our executive producer Bill Zimmerman, but we make the best of it, of course.
Of course, you got to do what you got to do.
Got to do what you got to do. All right, we have Rob on the show, and I say this when he comes on. Look, the Super Bowl is the number one bet event in the year. World Cup will be awesome later this year as well. So I'm guessing even for the members of our audience that don't bet normally, you probably want to put a couple bucks down on Super Bowl Sunday. Rob is a professional bettor, one of, if not the most respected names in the entire space when it comes to giving out bets with the rationale behind it. You got me excited, my friend, because you said that you just fired in a lot of bets over the last few days. So let's start with the side, then we'll do total, then we'll get to some props. Current side of the game at our show sponsor, BetMGM. Seattle, a 4.5-point favorite against the Patriots, total 45.5. The one piece of injury news right now, Rob, that we don't know the answer to is Nick Kostos going to be able to play or not? We'll probably find out more information on that today. Let's do side first. How are you betting the side of the Super Bowl, Seattle 4.5 over New England?
So this Nick Kostos stuff really throws a wrench into everything. So I made the game Seattle -4. That was my fair price on the game. If Kostos misses, it's really hard to... there's a lot of moving parts there because he missed early on in the year. And when he missed early on in the year, they had a player playing that filled in for him that's no longer with the team on defense. So it remains to be seen how they would adjust for him missing it. And there's not a lot of optimism right now from the Twitter doctors. Whether that's real or not, it's up to you to decide. But if Emin misses, it's a huge loss because, listen, he's categorized as a safety. He's had 7 snaps, at 20-plus yards from the line of scrimmage this year. He plays in the box. He plays on the D-line. He plays a lot of slot corner. And now all of a sudden you're going to need guys like Ty Okada who are filling in, which, no disrespect, but it's a downgrade there. Who's going to play slot corner for them? All those things change, and it makes it really hard to evaluate what the Seahawks are going to do on defense and how much there's going to be a drop-off there. Ultimately, there's lots of paths to Seattle blowing out New England in this game, but I'm most optimistic. I'm a little bit more optimistic on the Patriots defense, I think, than others. I don't think this has been a fluke in the playoffs for them. Obviously, this is a step up in class for the offense. They're not getting the Chargers. They're not getting Jarrett Stidham. They're not getting the Texans, and this is tougher. But with Milton Williams on the field, this defense has been so different this year. I mean, they're able to generate quick pressures. They were missing Kyrus Tonga, their nose tackle down the stretch. Harold Landry's been dealing with a bad knee. Robert Spillane's been in and out of the lineup. They've had a lot of defensive injuries in their front 7, and now you get 2 weeks off going into the Super Bowl. The Seahawks, while they're a great team, their offensive line is not the best in the league. They could be weak on the interior, so Milton Williams could be a big disruptor in the game. It's a tough one. I lean New England at the current price. I haven't been able to get there and click it, but that's where I would go if I had to bet the game.
Pro sports bettor Rob Pizzola here with us on You Better You Bet Westwood One Sports, on Twitter at Rob Pizzola, the show presented by BetMGM. All right, so a lean towards the Patriots at the current number. What about the total, Rob, which has been bet down, now currently sitting 45.5, over or under for Super Bowl 60?
Yeah, still lean under at this price. And again, the Emin stuff does throw a wrench in things. Ultimately, I do think the Seahawks defense is going to have a lot of success in this game. I mean, the Patriots O-line just hasn't been holding up, especially on the left side. Seattle will do what they do to everyone else. They will rush for the most part. They'll play 2 high safety. They'll keep everything underneath. They'll force the Patriots to methodically work their way down the field. And I don't know that the Patriots are just capable of doing that drive after drive after drive. There's too many negative plays. Drake May, as much as I love the guy, does have a propensity to take sacks as well and potentially turn the ball over. And New England's running game has just not been hyper efficient this year, especially where Seattle might be the weakest, which is right up the middle of the defense. So lean under. I think we're going to see some prolonged drives. I do think we'll see a lot of punts in this game as well. And just by the nature of Mike McDonald being a more conservative head coach who's willing to take points and Vrabel being inconsistent in those decisions, I think 45.5 a tad too high. So leans on the Super Bowl here. My numbers are Patriots and under.
All right, so Patriots and under, leans for Rob on the side and the total. So those are not actual bets for you right now. Ergo, since you had referenced that you had fired a bunch of bets in, I'm guessing those are all in the prop markets. What else could it be? So we could start with MVP if you'd like. I think people love to bet that too. If you have a thought there, then we can get to some bets that you've actually placed, if not MVP.
So MVP, listen, a lot of people that I like and respect are really digging in deep on JSN MVP, which is in the plus 550 range. And I get the argument for it. I think he's by far the most prolific player on that offense. And if Seattle's going to win, there's a very decent chance he's going to do something big in the game where he might get credit for that. My only pushback to that would be if you're going to do that, go and bet stuff like JSN 2+ touchdowns, which is a better price than betting him MVP. There's a lot of derivatives you can take where if you see a specific case of this guy needs to do X, Y, and Z to be a candidate for MVP, well, you can find better prices on that stuff individually than just betting him as MVP. So that's the way that I kind of look at it. I actually don't have an MVP bet on this game. It's one of the markets that I just look at it. I think it's kind of easy to price for this particular game. I don't know that we're going to get any specific reach. Maybe a big defensive player forces a key turnover or something like that in a low-scoring game, and they might be live. But I haven't really been taking shots in this market yet this year, Nick. But those around me, all over JSN at his current price.
All right. All right, so we got about 3 minutes here, Rob. I want to give you a lot of runway because we've asked a bunch of questions. You have some thoughts, but maybe not some concrete bets. I know you have some bets. Would love for you to share them with our audience here. We have like a solid 3, a lot of runway for you here to roll through, and I will just say this again to preface it. Rob is one of the most, if not the most respected person in the space that's giving out bets. It doesn't mean that all the bets are going to win, just that when he speaks, I listen, and you should as well. What do you have for us, my friend?
Okay, I'll give you lots of looks here. And again, I won't reference specific prices, but they're probably good market-wide if I'm saying them right now. The Seattle Seahawks, they force a lot of targets to running backs because of the way that they play defense. They will give up targets to running backs, and they will swarm, and they will tackle. I like Ramondre Stevenson over receiving yards, and I like to play him some alts in this game as well. For Drake May, I'm waiting till the absolute last minute. I want to bet under on some of his rushing stuff. Seattle does not give up a lot in the rushing game. They've played a lot of mobile quarterbacks this year. If you look at their schedule, only 2 guys have really done damage to them, Jaden Daniels and Bryce Young. Both of those games were pretty big blowouts where those guys had to run a lot in those games. So if you think the Patriots keep it close, I think Drake May under 6.5 rushing attempts at plus money will be good. I also like his under rushing yards in the game. I want to lean into Mike McDonald being a more conservative head coach. I played some over on the longest field goal in this game. I played over 48.5. There's still 49.5. Seattle loves to blitz when teams get into like the 30, 35-yard line type of area, and Drake May likes to take sacks, could force a long field goal for the Patriots there as well. I like punts over in this game, whether you want to play that as a total of like 7.5 across market or play each team individually at their prices. I kind of like New England punts over 3.5. It's heavily juiced, like minus 150. I like that a decent amount in this game. 4th down conversion, will there be one? I played no in this market. Again, Seahawks, conservative team. McDonald likes to punt. 4th and 1 at midfield. He's punted a lot this year. I like those types of props. So just think about that as a whole. Early drive, early game stuff. I bet some stuff like, the prop I gave out on Forward Progress yesterday was, will the New England Patriots reach midfield on their opening drive? I bet no at plus money. I like that quite a bit. Remember, listen, they might start at the 35 if they get the opening kick. They might not. If Seattle gets the ball first, there's a possibility Seattle gets a few first downs, punts, pins the Patriots deep. So I like things like that. From a player perspective, I'm a little bit higher than market on A.J. Barner. I think that even with Elijah Arroyo back, I think Barner's going to see a lot of targets in this particular game. I'm pretty down on Kenneth Walker in the passing game, even though he's had a pretty big playoffs in terms of catching passes. Little opinion here. Travion Henderson played 4 snaps against Denver. I think he's going to get something like 15 to 20 in this game. I think he is underpriced in some of the markets as well. That's a weaker opinion because it's just guessing. And I think those are a lot of the main
20 seconds
ones.
left.
Yeah, those are a lot of the main ones. Yeah.
You gave us an absolute ton there, so very much appreciated. And for people that are interested in Rob's opinions on game day, Forward Progress YouTube page, 11 a.m. Sunday morning. I'm on the air also. Maybe have a split screen with both of us. My friend, very much appreciated. Good luck on the bets, and I will catch up with you soon here on the show.
All right, Nick. Thanks for having me.
My friend, pro sports bettor Rob Pizzola, joining us here on You Better You Bet. I'm going to steal his Emmitt Smith question about Barry Sanders. I thought that was honestly, it's a better question than I was probably going to ask him. So Emmitt Smith coming up later this hour, Scott Graham coming up later this hour. On the other side, I see both of them right here. Kelly Stewart, Ariel Epstein join me here. Best bets for Super Bowl 60. You Better You Bet rolls on live from San Francisco right after this on Westwood One Sports.
He fails to recall that Mark Andrews was wide open, had the football in his hands, and dropped the 2-point conversion that would have won the game for the Baltimore Ravens. They lost 41. No, that would have tied the game, I believe. Yes, it wouldn't have even won the game. It would have tied the game if Mark Andrews caught that 2-point conversion against Buffalo. So it wouldn't have even been a guarantee that they would have won. It would have tied the game. With the play from 4th and 4 that the Rams lost on was a tremendous play by Devin Witherspoon guarding Ferguson, the Rams tight end. He was not wide open. He didn't even get his hands on the ball. He was basically playing defense to make sure that it wasn't intercepted. He basically had no chance to catch that football. It wasn't even close. The Rams lost that game because the Seahawks outplayed them, because the Rams defense couldn't stop them. It didn't come down to just that one play. The Rams had other opportunities. It came down to Xavier Smith dropping a punt that resulted in a Seahawks touchdown a play later. It resulted in the Rams not getting it on the other 4th down that they went for. Nothing with Ferguson dropping that football. And it wasn't even like a bad throw from Stafford. It was a hell of a play. Seattle had it perfectly covered. That's what it came down to. There was limited opportunities. And that's why, if you want to make one argument why the Rams lost the game, and I didn't really blame Sean McVay in the moment, but the Rams lose by 4. They were down 31-20. They score a touchdown. You probably should have went for 2. Because if you get the 2-point conversion, that would have made 31-28, and then they wouldn't have had to go for it on 4th down there with the final 4 minutes. They would have kicked the field goal to tie the game, and then we would have saw what would have happened. But I don't know what Paul's talking about. That 6'6" monster. If he caught the ball, he dropped the ball. It wasn't a drop. It wasn't even close to a drop. It was a hell of a play by Seattle. And I don't know, man. I'm lost. Paul scrambled me up. I don't know what he's talking about. Everybody wanted to see Matthew Stafford win the MVP. I think there was as many people that wanted to see Drake May win the MVP. And Stafford would have been in the Super Bowl if the Rams defense got some stops. They gave up 450 yards of offense and 31 points. Anyway, we'll take a short break. Cram it up your cram hole, LaFleur.
Let's head out to Media Row in San Francisco. This is You Better You Bet with Nick Kostos on Westwood One Sports, presented by BetMGM.
Indeed we are, live San Francisco, California, day 4. It's usually right about now when your brain starts to seep out of your ears here on day 4 on Radio Row. My friends Kelly Stewart and Ariel Epstein are with me on behalf of Splash Sports. I was just telling, because I've known both of you guys for a long time, how cute is my daughter?
She's very
She's
cute.
so cute.
I just told you you need to have another one. I'm like, all right,
think
you're behind. She's going to be, what, 3? You're behind.
It's been a while.
She's going to be 2 in May.
She's so big.
I thought you've had her much longer.
So my wife took her to the doctor today. Nothing serious, but she has a tear duct issue in one of her eyes, so her eye tears. Took her to the eye doctor, and she got to dilate her eye, and So my wife said when she took her in, she was going, no doctor, no doctor. And whenever she says stuff like this, how does she know that? She said to me before I left, Daddy, get the ball. I'm like, how did you know to say that? And I said, where's the ball, honey? She said, under the TV. She's like 17 years old. She's not even 2. And then she poops herself, and I have to clean it. So, it's the
You
yin.
think that she's mature until she has a moment.
It's the yin and yang of life. So I am guessing that our audience knows who you two are. But in the event that they don't, I'm going to gas you guys up big time right now. So they've been my friends off air for a really long time. They absolutely smash in the sports betting space and the sports content space. Kelly Stewart, also known as Kelly in Vegas on social media. Ariel Epstein, the prop queen. And if I'm being honest, I have been the prop king. I would cede the kingdom to you. If we're forced to choose one, I would choose the queen over the king. And they're doing awesome work on behalf of our friends at Splash Sports. We'll talk about that coming up more in a little bit. Great to have you guys here. How's it going?
It's
Always
great.
great to
Look
see
at
Nick.
you. Like every year,
Yeah,
Nick,
this is huge.
your like setup gets bigger and bigger every year.
So does my head. So especially with comments like these. I want to start with this because I think people that follow you guys on social media know this, but I think what's so cool about you guys, like, you aren't just some random pairing that Splash is sending out here to do content. You guys are, like, legitimately best friends off air. You guys go on vacations together. You guys, there's a ton of, like, social media interaction between the two of you. Tell the audience about that, like, your friendship. This has been going on for many years now, right?
Yeah, we're about to hit our, like, 5-year friendship anniversary in
Wow.
March Madness.
No wonder I'm so exhausted.
I know. No, the cool thing is that Kelly, I met her when she lived in Vegas, and I am from New York. Every time we see each other, it's fun because it's an adventure. I have to travel to see her. She has to travel to see me. We travel to meet up in random places, like coming out to San Francisco. And the good thing is she balances me. She said to me, let's go to Super Bowl Radio Row this year. I said, Kel, we have no plan. Nothing. Like, what are we doing? She goes, I'm going to tell Splash that we have to go out together to San Francisco. And I was like, all right, if you can make it work.
Listen, I am not.
I'm not a planner.
I'm an organized person. Once
Organized
I
chaos. Organized chaos.
No, you're not.
She's
like,
organized chaos.
Okay, I don't have my laptop in front of me, but like, I'm a spreadsheet girl.
Okay.
If you open up my bag over there, you'll see my full-on schedule. Our handler, Andrew, sent me a nice grouping so that I could add things.
I can tell that Andrew's on top of it.
Yeah,
Andrew does a good
He
job.
saved our life this
Yeah,
week.
he's literally the best babysitter ever. But the reality is...
That's why I got married.
Yeah, exactly.
Yes. He should have
So
been with us
the
last
reality
night.
is
Would've been better.
typically I'm not a big planner. So when I said to Ariel, I was like, hey, talking to the Splash guys, I'm going to go out to Radio Row. Here's the thing. I've already got a hotel room. We've
She's like,
already
just
going.
book your ticket,
I'm like, just
Ariel.
book- And she goes, how am I going to get a credential? I'm like, well, I'll figure it out. And she's like, do you have one? I was like, no, I'll get one.
I'm like, you already booked your ticket
what's,
and your
what's
hotel?
so funny about this is getting just like a little inside baseball here. Getting a credential to the Super Bowl is like harder than like breaking into Fort Knox. So like, I love the cavalier attitude.
She's like, we'll figure it
I'll just
out.
get a credential to the Super Bowl. But I guess you did it though, right? So it worked out.
Okay, here's the thing. It's not like this is the first time either of us have been credentialed for this. So, like, once you're already kind of in, you're kind of already in. You just have to figure out who you went with in the past that's willing to give you another one to go. So Fox said, oh, you came with us to the Las Vegas Super Bowl. You can come with us again. You owe us a couple shows. No problem.
Okay, so here's the problem right now. We've gone way too long on this. We have like
Weird.
3 minutes here. Yes, I know. I talk a lot. We were going to promote Splash Sports, so my man, and we will get to that. But give me your bets for the game, side and total, Kelly, and then let's get some props from Ariel.
Yeah, I don't have the stones to bet the under, Nick. I just don't. I do see this being a more defensive game, but at this point, the lines come down. I know every single wise guy every single year is going to bet the under. The books are going to be rooting for the under, shocker, mainly because of the prop bets. I could see this being a higher scoring game late. We may see some garbage time, so I don't want to take the under.
And we saw that when these two teams played in 49, 24-14, and then Brady leads 2 touchdown drives to send the game over the total.
There you go. So I am not going to touch the total, but I am on the Patriots plus 5.5.
Okay.
Here's kind of the thing.
And 4.5 still good for you.
4.5 still good for me because I think this is going to be a 3-point game one way or another.
Okay.
A lot of people are screaming blowout, and I'm going, you guys are out of your minds. We are overblowing this narrative that the Patriots did nothing in the playoffs, and there's me saying on social media, I haven't been impressed with Drake May in the playoffs. Well, of course not. He's playing in inclement weather. Santa Clara is going to be 70 degrees and beautiful. Everything's going to be fine.
Okay, so Patriots for Kelly. Yep. Do you have a thought on the game, Ariel? And then I'd love to get some of your props.
So actually, speaking of Splash Sports, I had Survivor entries where I was able to have the Broncos and the Patriots in my 2 entries left to get me into the final round.
Okay.
Unfortunately, both of those I had to use the Rams to win the Super Bowl because I already used the Seahawks. So before
I
the
had
champion,
Patriots-Rams exacted that. Yeah.
But because I had the Rams in those 2 survivors, I saw before the championship game for the NFC that both these teams were minus 300 in the look ahead for like on the money line. So I said, well, I could still get the Seahawks at plus 165 to win the Super Bowl. If I want to come off the Rams a little bit, then I could get the plus 165.
So you
I'm
have
sitting on a
Seahawks
money line at plus 165. But for a prop, I really like Byron Murphy to
Well,
go
can
over.
I just promote you for a second
Yeah.
here? So your Instagram is, I followed you for Ariel Epstein.
Ari Epst on Instagram.
So spell it for everybody.
ARIEPST.
So Ariel not only, and we will get to Splash Sports. Ariel not only pumps out content on her Instagram. You have the Prop Queen newsletter also.
Yep,
so
and the YouTube.
So I encourage
Prop
everybody
Queen.
if you like to bet props. Ariel is your girl. Kelly's awesome with Wager Talk as well. So I wanted to give you that promotion here. Tell us some of the props that you love coming up for
I
Super
give
Bowl
out
60.
this Prop Queen guide for every round of the playoffs. So there's on the propqueen.com, you click newsletter, you can get this Prop Queen Super Bowl guide, which gives you literally every single prop breakdown.
She is I just because I know her, I'm sorry to keep saying this, but I really want to promote you. Ariel is a grinder. And I say that she works her ass off, providing this work for you, the listeners and viewers, so you don't have to.
Yeah, I love to do the research so you don't have to. It takes a lot of time. I went through every single prop and said, here's where
As
the
for
edge
Kelly,
is.
she's like me. Kelly's lazy like me. I'm kidding.
No, no. I have gotten really lazy because I know so many people that are far smarter than me. What do you think I did for Super Bowl props? I read her Super Bowl prop guide.
What do you think? What do you think I'm going to do when I give up my bets on Sunday? I'm going to give out all Ken Barkley's bets that he told me about yesterday. Go ahead,
And I'll send
Ariel.
you the prop guide too, Nick.
Please.
But I really love defensive player props in the Super Bowl because it's the one market that no one cares about. No one's going to sit there and count how many tackles Byron Murphy has in the game. No one cares. And in fact, there are times I miss one of them, and then I look at the box score and I say, wow, he went over. So I like his over 3.5 total tackles. Byron Murphy's gone over this in 6 of the last 9 games.
Nice.
He's averaging 5 total tackles on the road, 5 total tackles in prime time. Certain defensive players just show up in prime time, and Byron Murphy's one of them. 3.5's too low.
Anything else you like besides for Byron Murphy over tackles?
Sam Darnold over his longest rush also stood out.
Ooh,
we don't want to go over rushing yards for quarterbacks anymore because we don't need kneel downs to have a negative impact on our play.
Which famously happened in the first
Patrick Mahomes.
Chiefs-Niners Super Bowl with Patrick Mahomes.
Correct. So I would go over his longest rush, Darnold, because on the road he's averaging 11 rushing yards a game. His rushing yards prop's only 6.5, and the longest rush is 5.5 with a 2.5 rush attempt prop. So yeah, he's probably running once, maybe twice, and usually it's because there's open field and he's going to run for a first down. So he should run for at least a 6-yard. He should have at least a 6-yard run.
Tell us about what you guys have going on with our friends at Splash Sports.
Yeah, Splash is great. If you guys haven't got a chance to go over there, they're the same guys who had Run Your Pool, Office Pool, so everything is now together, Nick. So if you're a chaotic person like me and you've got 30 different survivors, they're now at least all in the same spot. So loving what they're doing over at Splash. We did a ton of stuff for football season, so of course we have to do something for the big game. We put together a tiers contest, $25, $25,000 in guaranteed prizes. Ariel is going to do a lot better at this than I am. Let's be real. I'm not a fantasy person.
It's really like the old school DFS where in a primetime game, which for props you would probably remember, that you would pick, 4 players, and you had the 2X at the top and then the 1X at the bottom.
Yeah.
And so this is a
Who's
similar...
sitting in the captain's chair.
Correct.
So
So this is
what the real
similar.
nerds called it, like me.
It's similar where you pick 4 players, 2 from each team, and whoever has the highest fantasy score at the end wins. But it's not just one winner. There's the top 100 get paid out. It's plus EV. My sister just said, can you tell me what to put $20 on for the big game so that I could have some action? He doesn't bet. She doesn't know anything. I said, Alexa, you're better off just putting $25 in the splash contest. She's like, you're so salesy. I said, no, but it's true. You're better off putting $25 in here because you're going to make more from $25 than you are from one bet. So that's why Splash Sports Contest is great.
Do you, when your sister says stuff like, sounds like you were annoyed with her?
I'm not annoyed with her.
Alexa, you don't want to put money down on the game?
Alexa, join the contest.
Ariel stays annoyed. Let's just be real.
Well, Kelly's boyfriend was just mad at us because he goes, all you guys do is complain. You guys are never happy. And we're like, we're always happy. We just complain while we're happy.
I'm gonna, as a married man, I'm gonna keep my opinions to myself. Splash is also running Cousin Sal, friend of the show. Cousin Sal Super Squares.
Yes.
Free to enter, $25,000 in total prizes. You can play Splash contests on your phone in 40+ states. Splashsports.com. Download the app, grab a spot, and see who really knows the big game.
Nick did all the hard work for me. Why would I do it?
Can I get a piece of this or what?
Yeah.
Kelly Stewart, Ariel Epstein, I love you guys. Congrats on the success. Hope to do this more often. Good luck on the big game coming up on Sunday.
Thanks, Nick.
More You Better. Who's up next? Oh, Pro Football Hall of Famer Emmitt Smith right after this.
Love that.
we're getting towards awards and accolades just being completely meaningless now. I've grown a little fed up with that song. Yeah, I've grown a little fed up with LeBron James. Last week, the fake crying, the charade that he put on before playing the Cleveland Cavaliers in Cleveland. He hasn't formally announced that this is his retirement season, his farewell tour, yet we're kind of treating it that way, probably because we see the drop-off in his game this season. You look at the numbers, he's averaging 22 points, 6 rebounds, and 6.5 assists. This is a guy that last year was averaging 24.5 points. The year before that, 25.5 points. 2 years ago, 2021, 30 points per game. His average rebounds per game is the lowest in his entire career. The average of his assists is the second lowest in the last 10 years for him. His shooting 50% from the field is the second lowest in the last 7 years. His free throw percentage continues to be horrendous. It's at 73%. His three-point percentage is 33%. And nowadays we're playing a sport where there is routinely 240 points in a contest. So, on top of that, yeah, he had sciatica, which has limited him to just 31 games played this season. He didn't make his season debut until 15 games into the season. How is LeBron James an all-star over Kawhi Leonard? Makes no sense whatsoever to me. It basically just says that at this point, the NBA is giving him the honorary LeBron badge. You're LeBron James. Here you go. You're an all-star. And so now being an all-star in the NBA is just as meaningless as being named a Pro Bowler in the NFL, because we have Shedeur Sanders, a Pro Bowler. We've got LeBron James, an all-star, in a year where he's not an all-star. It's okay if LeBron James is not an all-star. We recognize he's one of the greatest players of all time. He hasn't been an all-star by like any definition of the word or of the accolade this season. So why are we just giving it to him?
Smith, tackled but breaks away to the 10, to the 5, touchdown Emmitt Smith. Oh, what a run by the league's MVP.
It's You Better You Bet, live from Media Row in San Francisco on Westwood One Sports. Here's Nick Kostos.
Legendary Brad Sham, longtime voice of the Dallas Cowboys. With that call, I don't even know what year that's from. Just being honest. Well, MVP, he was the MVP in what, 93? Good stuff. Emmitt Smith will be joining us, I think, momentarily. Bill Zimmerman just standing around. How about Jessica, our real executive producer, hands me the BetMGM read. Bill is literally just looking around on his phone. We need to be tracking down Emmitt Smith. Bill's just standing here. Great job. The biggest game of the year calls for a boost pack that's just as big. BetMGM rolling out the Big Game Boost Pack, giving you 3 different ways to boost the odds on your next big game bet. Here's how it works. First, log in and your Big Game Boost Pack going to be waiting for you. Next, add any big game bet to your bet slip and activate the boost token you want to use. And finally, if that bet hits with the token activated, you're getting extra winnings on top of your payout. So, if you want to add a little more excitement to your big game action, make sure you grab the Big Game Boost Pack from BetMGM so you can make it legendary. Download the BetMGM app today, and please gamble responsibly. And be sure to check out the BetMGM app this weekend for exclusive odds flashes, making BetMGM the best place to bet on the big game. I got to tell you something.
Yes, sir.
Pro Football Hall of Famer Emmitt Smith was with us on the show.
What's up, brother?
Good to see you, my friend.
Likewise.
We talked last year, and I told you about my father and grandfather and me despising you in early 1994 as you broke our hearts on a separated shoulder beating the New York Football Giants.
Yes.
How's it going 1 year later?
It's going well.
Yeah,
it's going well.
I feel like it is, man.
Hey, I can't complain. Life is good. I'm still here, obviously, and getting a chance to do what I love, be around the game that I love, experience the game from a different perspective again. And, I got kids that are growing up doing things as well, so I'm pretty pleased.
One of your sons is declaring for the NFL draft, right?
Yes, he is, my oldest son.
How does that's got to be? Now, look, I have a 2-year-old daughter, so like I'm not there yet, and like my kid being old enough to be like doing things and succeeding at stuff. I would imagine. I don't know if it's cooler for you than like you going to the NFL, but I would imagine that's pretty sweet, right?
It is. You know what it is? As a parent now, and I'm forgetting Emmitt Smith as the football player. As a parent, to be able to see your kid achieve some things that he has set out to achieve, goals and things that he set out for himself. To be able to see your kid do that right there is a wonderful feeling. Because I think all parents want to see their kids become successful at something and become productive at something. And so that's what this right here represents for me. As a parent, I get the chance to see if he if he wants to go and continue to live out his dream. And whether the NFL is going to give him a chance.
I love it. Congratulations, my man. Really awesome. I want our guys in the studio are going to play something for you here that we played coming back from break, and I want to get your reaction. Kenny, roll it, please.
Aikman draw to Smith. Tackled but breaks away to the 10, to the 5. Touchdown, Emmitt Smith. Oh, what a run by the league's MVP.
Pretty good, right? Brad Sham on the call?
That's Super Bowl 28.
You knew that right off the top of your head,
Yeah, that's
huh?
Super Bowl 28.
Pretty amazing.
Yeah, I've
Pretty
seen
amazing.
that. Seen that run many times.
Got a couple questions for you, my friends. I want to start with the Hall of Fame.
Yes.
Of which you are a member for a long time, obviously. You played with Larry Fitzgerald.
That I did.
Which sounds crazy. One of those things where like you can't believe it that those two careers
His
intersected.
rookie year was my last year in the National Football League.
Amazing. We think he's getting into the Hall of Fame on the first ballot. Is Larry Fitzgerald, in your estimation, a Hall of Famer, a first ballot Hall of Famer?
No doubt.
And what will it be like if he doesn't get it?
No doubt. It'll be just like Bill Belichick got snubbed. That's what it'd be like.
Worse?
I ain't gonna say worse, but it both of those things are bad. Bad is bad, no matter how you look at it. And because Belichick is a Super Bowl championship coach, he won more championships than any coach in the history of the game. And there's no reason for him not to be going into the Hall of Fame as a first ballot Hall of Fame coach.
Do you think the Hall of Fame has taken, and look, you're in it, right?
Right.
Do you think the Hall of Fame has taken like a really big hit over the last, I'll even say it, man, over the last couple seasons, because the fact that T.O., and like people cannot like him or like him, the fact that he had to wait until the third year, it's like, we all watched him play, right? He's one of the best receivers of my lifetime. Like, how does that happen? How does this happen? Do you feel like the Hall of Fame has taken a hit over the last couple of years?
Yes, it has. It has, because there's no real, in my mind, there's no real set criteria that people can gauge it by or judge it by. It's becoming one of those things, popular vote kind of things, and which is unfortunate. It's not, the players are not judged truly off of their performances and their years of service in the National Football League. They're judged off of those things. Some of those things are some of the criteria, but they're also judged, how do you treat the press? Whether or not you gave me an interview, and whether or not you snubbed me, whether or not you gave me the stiff arm. How do you make me feel when I ask the question? Blah, 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 blah. Things that are irrelevant to the game, but also part of the game, but should not weigh or carry as much weight as what you've done on the football field. Because what you've done on the football field should carry more weight than anything else. And at the end of the day, if that is not part of the equation, now you got people that are making decisions on whether someone's a first ballot or second ballot or third ballot Hall of Famer based off of how they made a person feel.
What's Emmitt's solo camera here, John? What's Emmitt's solo camera? If you wanted to, you don't have to if you don't want to, but you can look into that camera, that one right there, and give a message to the Hall of Fame voters who kept T.O. out until the third ballot and didn't vote Bill Belichick in on the first
I think
ballot.
all votes should be revealed who voted for whom. So everybody know the butt wipe that didn't do right. I'm sorry. That's the best way to look at it. Everybody should know who you voted for. Those votes should be revealed because you need to justify your reason. And people need to ask you questions. Why? And so you can answer the questions why. So you can get the criticism that players get every day. What happened on this play? Why didn't y'all do this? Why? You need to be asked those things of yourself. Why did you snub Bill Belichick, the only coach in NFL history that has 7 or more Super Bowl rings? Why isn't he a first round or first ballot Hall of Famer?
Great question.
That's the question that these folks who voted against him should be answering, and everybody in the public should be able to ask those kind of questions.
Roger Craig is going to go into the Hall of Fame. He a Hall of Fame running back for you from the San Francisco 49ers?
Is he going?
I believe he is. I believe he got voted in.
Wow, that's great. It's been a long time. It's been a long time. I haven't really taken the time to look at Roger Craig's stats, I just haven't looked at it.
Feels like he kind of like changed it. Like him and like Thurman, it feels like we're the first two to really be like the pass cat. Like if he's the first running back to have 1,000 yards receiving. Kind of feels like it's a long time coming for Roger Craig. Well, another great running back in Canton.
Yeah, it is a long time coming. You know how long Roger Craig been retired?
Long ass time.
Shoot. So are we going back now trying to bring those? It's a whole lot going on in that question.
Yeah.
And how many people are going to get snubbed because of that? If he was a Hall of Fame, if he wasn't a Hall of Famer in 5 years after he retired, his stats never changed. His stats never changed. If he wasn't a Hall of Famer 5 years after he's retired, what makes him a Hall of Famer in 2026?
That's a great question.
His stats are still the same.
Should you be? You got a lot going on, man. You want to be on the committee?
I mean, I wouldn't mind. I mean, somebody need to set things the way it needs to be done. I mean, there's so many people sitting in positions that probably shouldn't even be there.
I feel like, I don't want to speak for you, this like really pisses you off.
It does, because it watered down what was earned and how it's valued. These folks that are making opinions on who should be in the Hall of Fame is watering down the efforts of the folks who earned the right to be there. And they're poo-pooing on people that should be there that's not there, all for personal reasons. And that's wrong.
General question as it concerns the Hall of Fame, and you don't have to name any names. I'll give you my opinion. It feels like to me there are players in the Hall of Fame, and I didn't play, right? This is just my perspective from the outside. Like you, for example, I'm not just saying this because you're here. It's obvious. Emmitt Smith is a Hall of Famer, like easy first ballot Hall of Famer. It feels like there are players in the Hall of Fame that are not kind of like no doubt first ballot Hall of Famers. Do you feel like that waters down the accomplishments of yours, or like Jerry Rice's, for instance, or Randy Moss, the first ballot Hall of Famers?
It doesn't impact me. It doesn't impact me because I've done what I needed to do. But it impacts others that people may consider to be a fringe and all these kind of things. It impacts the quality of what the Hall of Fame should be representing. You're talking about over 20,000 players that have played the game of football. You're talking about less than 400 Hall of Famers, or less than 500. Let's just call it less than 500 Hall of Famers that have earned the right to be there and have gone through the gauntlet to do it. And then you're talking about coaches now that are part of this Hall of Fame. And now you're talking about referees that are also part of this Hall of Fame.
There can't be referees in the Hall of Fame. We can't let that happen.
There is.
That's the worst thing I've ever heard.
There is.
That's the worst.
There is.
That might be the worst thing I've ever heard.
There isn't a referee that's a Hall of Famer.
Do you think the Hall of Fame should just be players?
Hell yeah. If you want a referee Hall of Fame, have a referee Hall of Fame.
Or coaching Hall of Fame.
You want a coaching Hall of Fame? Have a coach.
Owner Hall of Fame.
Owner Hall of Fame, have an owner Hall of Fame.
Okay.
I mean, at the end of the day, if this is built for players and built by players, let it be, let it be.
So I want to be like your campaign manager. You ready? Emmitt Smith to run the Pro Football Hall of Fame. And here's your slogan. Ready? Built for players, by players.
That's the only reason why you have a Hall of Fame. Is because of the people that have played the game and done it the way that they did.
I'm going to take it a step further. It's the reason I and a lot of people here have our jobs. Because of you guys, we get to talk about
We're
it.
here talking about a Super Bowl, and there might be a Hall of Famer playing in the Super Bowl game on Sunday.
Almost certainly, you would think.
There
right?
might be. I'm gonna say might.
Yeah.
There might be a Hall of Fame because these are young careers that still have to grow.
JSN would probably be the one that you would look at the most. That is probably, and it's way early to say that, but he's
Right.
the one that could be on that trajectory. 2 questions for you, and we'll promote Tableau, and we'll let you go. How close are the Dallas Cowboys to getting back to the big game? So not that close.
No, I can honestly say that we made some strides this year.
Okay.
But I'm tired of talking about us making strides. I would like to see the balance on the offense as well as on the defense.
Whose fault is it?
And special teams. Now, I think Schottenheimer has done a great job of solidifying and creating a floor for the offense. I don't think we reached the ceiling yet. However, our defense need a complete upgrade.
When you watch the games, you're probably pretty frustrated. I'm
Oh,
guessing.
extremely frustrated because we couldn't stop a cold in Alaska butt naked, and that's after a cold shower.
Is it Jerry's fault?
I can't always say it's Jerry's fault because Jerry can only help bring the talent that is drafted. And we've done a very good job of having a very talented team.
That's true. To be fair, he gets a lot of criticism. He has done a good job drafting players. There's no question.
It's the system that we have today that I think don't bring players together. I don't know if players train the way we used to train together. I don't know if they bring in the rookies underneath their arms or the rookies go and train in other places. They all should be at Dallas Cowboys facility training together during the offseason. So every player and running together and conditioning together. Now after that, you want to go work out at some other place and some other gym and get some extra training, that's on you. But this is what we're going to do. And I want you here. Here are the running schedules. Here's the lifting schedules. We're going to be done before 11 o'clock. You can come in as early as you want to, but we're going to be done by 11 o'clock. And if you're missing time, you got to be able to run the conditioning test. If you ain't going to be able to make the conditioning test, that's a problem all by itself.
Tell us what you've got going on right now, Emmett, with our friends at Tableau TV.
Well, with our friends at Tableau TV, for those who are stuck in this subscription mode, Tableau TV is a device.
I am, by the way. I'm one of these
How
people.
many subscriptions you actually have?
Like 50?
You got 50, and you're probably paying an average of $75 for every subscription.
I'd have to ask my wife,
All
probably.
right.
Probably more, honestly.
So whatever it is, it's enough. It's a lot of money. This device right here, you can watch, pause, record live television, including local news, local channels, and everything else, live sports, popular shows. You can do all of that on this one device. This one device hooks up to all of your devices in your house. All of them. So you got multiple TVs.
I do.
In different rooms.
Different rooms.
This one device covers all of that.
Different floors.
You got iPads and
I do.
and tablets and all.
We got
This
an
one device covers all of that.
Tableau.
So yes, one device, and you pay probably $100, and you get over 125 channels. Over 125 channels.
So everybody check this out. Tableau TV. Tableau that comes with the antenna.
Now think about the 50 subscriptions you have. Think about you pay $100 here. You got all of the things you need on this one device, and how much money you save on those 50 subscriptions.
So
subscriptions you can
So
talk about.
this is like you're one of the best running backs of all time. Is Emmitt Smith a better running back or endorser?
Hey, bro. Emmitt Smith was a blocker. He was a runner. He was a receiver. I'm a multifaceted individual.
You're the man, Emmitt Smith. And congratulations on your son.
Thank you.
And the success, man.
Hey, he had a great. He finished his year strong, and hopefully he get a chance to go play at the National Football League level.
I love it. Tableau TV, courtesy of our friend Hall of Famer Emmitt Smith. Emmitt, very much appreciate it. Emmitt, if you wouldn't mind, I'm going to ask you on the air to put some pressure on you. The show's off the air in 30 seconds. Can you and I take a picture in 30 seconds from now?
30 seconds?
30 seconds from right now.
Can we do it right now while we're on the set?
Let's take it now. Ready? All right, so we're doing this live.
That way everybody get to see it.
So we got the picture. Hold on. And can I get you just to say, I'm Emmitt Smith, and you're watching You Better You Bet? Ready? Here we go.
You watching You Better what?
I'm Emmitt Smith, and you're watching You Better You Bet.
I'm Emmitt Smith. You watching You Better You Bet It.
He's the best. And that does it for the Thursday edition of the show. We will catch you tomorrow, Radio Row in San Francisco, here on Westwood One Sports, presented by BetMGM.
he fails to recall that Mark Andrews was wide open, had the football in his hands, and dropped the 2-point conversion that would have won the game for the Baltimore Ravens. They lost 41. No, that would have tied the game, I believe. Yes, it wouldn't have even won the game. It would have tied the game if Mark Andrews caught that 2-point conversion against Buffalo. So it wouldn't have even been a guarantee that they would have won. It would have tied the game. With the play from 4th and 4 that the Rams lost on was a tremendous play by Devin Witherspoon guarding Ferguson, the Rams tight end. He was not wide open. He didn't even get his hands on the ball. He was basically playing defense to make sure that it wasn't intercepted. He basically had no chance to catch that football. It wasn't even close. The Rams lost that game because the Seahawks outplayed them, because the Rams defense couldn't stop them. It didn't come down to just that one play. The Rams had other opportunities. It came down to Xavier Smith dropping a punt that resulted in a Seahawks touchdown a play later. It resulted in the Rams not getting it on the other 4th down that they went for. Nothing with Ferguson dropping that football. And it wasn't even like a bad throw from Stafford. It was a hell of a play. Seattle had it perfectly covered. That's what it came down to. There was limited opportunities. And that's why, if you want to make one argument why the Rams lost the game, and I didn't really blame Sean McVay in the moment, but the Rams lose by 4. They were down 31-20. They score a touchdown. You probably should have went for 2. Because if you get the 2-point conversion, that would have made 31-28, and then they wouldn't have had to go for it on 4th down there with the final 4 minutes. They would have kicked the field goal to tie the game, and then we would have saw what would have happened. But I don't know what Paul's talking about. That 6'6" monster. If he caught the ball, he dropped the ball. It wasn't a drop. It wasn't even close to a drop. It was a hell of a play by Seattle. And I don't know, man. I'm lost. Paul scrambled me up. I don't know what he's talking about. Everybody wanted to see Matthew Stafford win the MVP. I think there was as many people that wanted to see Drake May win the MVP. And Stafford would have been in the Super Bowl if the Rams defense got some stops. They gave up 450 yards of offense and 31 points. Anyway, we'll take a short break. Cram it up your cram hole, LaFleur.